7 years, 100,000 mile guarantee. This is good.
We've tackled all the problems of buying a used car at Barber Honda, making it easier for you to buy the car you're looking for.
Here, so we're looking at.
At Barber Honda Used Cars, you'll get the lowest prices, best selection, and friendliest staff in Bakersfield. Barber Honda at the entrance to the Bakersfield Auto Mall.
Barber Honda. Volvo rents construction equipment. 1061 Crowd Radio. 98.5 The Fox. Present the Bright House Network's High School Football Game of the Week.
Good evening, Kern County. Welcome back to Bright House Network's High School Football Week number 2. We're way over on the southeast side, Foothill High School, where the Trojans and Scott Douglas and his boys will be welcoming West High School and the Vikings with head coach Rich Cornford. I am alongside Paul Press. We've got Brian Adams down on the field. We'll go to him in just a moment. Paul, first of all, good evening. Welcome to Foothill High School. This beautiful moon behind us, this gorgeous sunset over here. It's just a perfect evening, but the ball has not been kicked off yet. Tonight, a struggle for both teams. Last week, the quarterback for West High maybe didn't click 100%. Coaches are looking for him to express himself tonight behind the center, and the Foothill High Trojans looking to go 1-1 tonight. A big win if they could get it tonight. Your thoughts going into this ball game?
Well, two thoughts. One, West High has a lot of speed. Fast, faster, and fastest. Probably the fastest team in Kern County. Foothill, tons of heart. These kids, I taught out here 15 years ago. This is where I started my teaching program. And 15 years ago, these kids out here have tons of heart. So the question is, does Foothill have enough heart to keep up with West High speed?
Down on the field is Brian Adams. He's played on this field many times. He's mixed it up a lot of times down on this field. Brian, you've got your thoughts about the Foothill High Trojans welcoming the West High Vikings. Let's hear your thoughts. Brian Adams.
Yes, Vance. And one thing the field's going to try to do is they cannot make mistakes. They have to have ball control and take any chance they can and any opportunities to beat West High with that vaunted speed. They say lightning doesn't strike twice, but it may tonight. Back to you, Vance and Paul.
Thank you, Brian. Again, it's a gorgeous Friday night. This is week 2, Bright House Network's football, week number 2, the Vikings and the Trojans. Back in a moment with the kickoff.
You're watching the High School Football Game of the Week on Bright House Networks.
Honey, are you going to do that yard work today?
I'm looking up all the places I need to go. Next Saturday, I'll go and get the stuff.
Locally owned and operated, Volvo Rents has everything you need for that weekend home improvement project. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will guide you through our vast assortment of tools, supplies, and rental equipment. From concrete or masonry mix, mixers or finishing tools, to lawn equipment and landscaping supplies and more. At Volvo Rents, we deliver more care in every rental.
I got you everything you need at Volvo Rents. Here's some gloves. Bye.
Bright House Networks presents Mesa Marin Raceways. Inside Motorsports. Every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on Bright House Networks Channel 21. With an encore presentation Fridays at 10 p.m. and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Inside Motorsports.
7 years, 100,000 mile guarantee. This is good.
We've tackled all the problems of buying a used car at Barber Honda, making it easier for you to buy the car you're looking for.
Here, so we're looking at.
At Barber Honda Used Cars, you'll get the lowest prices, best selection, and friendliest staff in Bakersfield. Barber Honda at the entrance to the Bakersfield Auto Mall.
Welcome back, Kern County. Week number 2, Bright House Football Networks, exclusively on Bright House Networks. This is Vance Palm. I'm alongside Paul Press up on the booth, and down on the field is Brian Adams. Brian, I see you down there about the 15-yard line. Looks like you're hoping you could run one of these babies back. If you're West High School, coming off a tough loss last weekend, looking to really make a statement right here, who's that right in front of you waiting to receive?
Got Cortez Donald, and one thing about he can return that ball back, and you got Princeton McCarty back here as well. But it's important for West High to come out and establish their dominance early. Back to you, Vance.
Thank you, Brian. Paul Press, we talked about this before the game even started. You mentioned that Foothill's got the heart. They've got the want. It's going to be a big night. Big night. Beautiful full moon poking over Bear Mountain, surrounded by West High coaches up here. This ought to be a hefty night up on top of the announcing booth at Foothill High School. Here comes the kickoff, week 2, Bright House Network football. Paul, your thoughts?
Well, here we go. It'll be interesting. Last year, Foothill chose to kick off to Garrett Anthony versus Stockdale, and he ran it all the way back. West High has more speed than what Stockdale had last year. Let's hope Foothill can cover this here and make the tackle.
It's taken out there by number 22, Cortez Donald. He goes way to the left. Pursuit by Foothill High School. Nice pursuit, nice tackle. It'll be 1st and 10. West High's own 27-yard line.
Well, we'll see it. We'll see the speed. West High's got speed everywhere. They've got A.J. Jeffries. They have Princeton McCarty. You already mentioned Cortez Donald. Brandon Smith out there. They're loaded with speed. Where do they go? Take your pick. Take your pick.
Before even the first play of scrimmage, we have a bit of a development. It looks like the local high school here that's hosting the game, Foothill High School, has the clock set. They figured it out. The coaching staff up here for West High School pointed out that they'd started a 15-minute quarter. Yikes. 1st and 10, Viking ball. Corey Davison. We'll get to some comments on him from his quarterback, Coach Lewis, in just a moment. Pitch goes out to number 20, Princeton McCarty. Princeton McCarty thrown for about a 3-yard loss. Nice pursuit there by the Trojan defense, Paul.
Well, yeah, West High comes out with an I formation, slot right. And number 21 for the Foothill Trojans does a great job of stringing it out. Here we're going to see it here. 21 really comes up and plays the outside shoulder, does a good job. Force fighting off that block. Here comes 21, plays the outside shoulder. Middle linebackers pursue on the backside and make a great job here. Great defensive stand for Foothill.
Officially, it doesn't look as if they've lost any yardage here. 2nd and 10, second play of the football game. We're out at Foothill High School tonight on a simply gorgeous late August evening. Handoff up the middle. It goes to Cortez Donald. I believe that's Cortez Donald. He's wrapped up immediately. So early on, Foothill High defense doing exactly what they need to do. Early hits, wrap the arms, bring them down.
Yeah, West High comes out with what they have, their flex offense there with trips to the left. Seeing that Foothill's going to adjust and come out and spread out their defense. They adjusted some, but they stayed the middle guys home, did a good job of making that tackle inside.
For those of you just getting to your television sets, that's the voice of Paul Press. I formation. West High 3rd and 9. The pass goes out to the flank. Easy reception out there by A.J. Jefferson. A 1st down, West High Vikings. Well, we get to see Corey Davison. I had a chance to talk to the quarterback coach, Coach Lewis, before the game started. And as we all know, his stellar career here in Kern County, he knows what he's talking about. And he says, yep, I like this kid. He's got great arm strength. We're working with him on his mobility. But he's a good kid, and he's going to help us quite a bit.
Yeah, he's an athlete. He's one of the better baseball players here in the county. Big kid, 6'3", 205. I had a chance to go out to their practice on Tuesday and watch him. Big kid, big arm. He's going to do well.
1st down, West High School. They did have a 3rd and 10. Nice play out there to A.J. Jefferson. 1st and 10. Davison drops back. Trouble. Thrown for a 3-yard loss. So bit of this, bit of that, bit of this, bit of that, Paul.
Yeah, here we go. We got Foothill on this replay here. We can see it here. They do blitz. They bring in the linebackers here, bring it in. And Davison has no chance, even on the semi-rollout on the 3-step. He planted, and Foothill D-line comes in, makes the sack. 2nd and long.
2nd and 13. We're just underway here. Week number 2, Foothill hosting West. Bright House Network's Week 2, Game 2. Davison checking off. Quarterback for West High. In motion goes McCarty. Davison looks, decides to keep it himself. He is a big kid, and he just keeps on going. A nice 5-yard pickup. You're right. 6'3", 205. He's going to pack a wall up if he finally gets to the area he needs to be.
Yeah, he's a senior. You know, he's a smart guy, real smart, real polite young man. But he's played in big baseball games. He understands the pressure of leading a team as a quarterback. They run this dive option here. Fake that dive inside. He reads it well. He reads that defensive guard real well and makes the right decision.
3rd and 6. Their second third down here in this series. They made it last time. Again, it appears as Davison's checking off. I formation. McCarty gets the handoff. Good P in trouble, and he is in trouble. Nothing going. That'll bring up 4th and long for the West High Vikings. This Trojan crowd over here, hey, they're pleased.
Yes, I'm real surprised and happy. You can see Coach Douglas there. Shot of Coach Douglas fired up.
He doesn't look happy, but I think he is.
Yeah, he's fired up. But defense did a great job there. They're getting a lot of penetration. Watch for West High to come back next offensive series and run some kind of draw play and see if they can keep Foothill from pinning in their ears back and coming after him.
Let's keep that in mind. Corey Davison, quarterback, also the punter. Jose Marmolejo waiting for the return. It could be returned. Marmolejo lets it drop. It takes, I don't know, kind of a popcorn bounce. It's down. We're going to get a chance to see the Foothill High School offense. Paul, we've got a plethora of coaches up here from West High School and Foothill. We've got Coach Greider. I know you know this big fella right here in front of us.
Oh, yeah. Coach Onandia, freshman coach, blitz player. Hopefully not a retired blitz player. He still looks in shape. He can still get it done. You know, he was an all-league linebacker in the AF2 this year.
I was in my living room the night I heard of his supposed retirement. Said, we won't let that happen. He's got to keep playing. 1st and 10, Foothill High School ball. Get a chance to take a look at this young Trojan offense here. Quarterback, Anthony Herrera, number 5 for the Trojans. Barks out his signals. First drive of the Trojan ball. Handoff goes up the middle. It looks like that was Donnie Evans.
Well, Foothill comes out with a double tight set, split backs. Looks like they're going to try to do some ball control against West High. Try to keep that West High speed offense off the field. Smart coaching decision by the Foothill coaches. You know, they've got a veteran coaching staff, and they know how to coach. They're not going to let West High take anything. They're going to make them battle.
Sorry, Paul. My correction. That's Jeremy Hernandez running that ball. 2 receivers split wide, way to the left. 7.5 left in this first quarter. Foothill High, 2nd and 9. Handoff goes up to the left side. Nice hole up the middle. That was a carry out there by Matthew Peralta. Peralta gets 3 or 4 tough yards. What are your thoughts on that call? I love it.
I like it. I like the ball control. They're coming right at West High. They're coming out double tight, split backs, which means they have a full line. You know, 6, 8, 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. They're running right at West High, coming out, going right at their big linebacker, number 45, Deron Mackey. We'll watch him throughout the night. This kid can play.
Big play. 3rd and 3. Anthony Herrera, junior quarterback for the Trojans. Well, a couple years of Anthony Herrera. Looks like a blitz. Picked up. Oh, no, it's not. Goodness gracious. The West High Vikings in strong. Wrap up. Probably a loss of a yard. It looks. That'll bring up a 4th and a long 3, Paul.
There's the guy I was just talking about, number 45, Deron Mackey. This kid right here is probably one of the best middle linebackers here in the Valley. No doubt he's an all-area player here in Kern County. They send him on that inside blitz. They send him through the A gap. Foothill quarterback couldn't even turn around. There it is, a sack.
4th and 3, Trojans will punt. It's Jose Rezga.
This is scary right here for Foothill. They want to kick away from number 20. Kick away from number 20, which they do. Smart job.
Oh, a fumble on a play. And it's dropped out there by A.J. Jefferson. It looked as if he was able to scoop it up very quickly, and he was, but always a bit of a pitter-patter for your coaching staff there for both sides.
Yeah, for both sides. I'm looking at it. If I'm a Foothill coach, I'm up here and I'm going, where do we kick it? You got A.J. Jefferson, which is the second fastest guy on the West High team, possibly the fastest guy on any other team if he was playing anywhere else. And beside him back there is the fastest guy, Princeton McCarty, one of the fastest kids in the Valley and one of the best running backs. Where do you punt the ball? Foothill did a great job punting it away and making him run and get the ball.
1st and 10, West High just past their own 50-yard mark. 6 minutes left in this first quarter. McCarty up the middle, gets the handoff, a good 13-yard gain. It'll be 1st and 10 after the first play of this second series. Paul, You made a great point. Yes, it could be looked at as overstating the obvious. Everybody knows about the West High speed, but it's something you just absolutely have to have in your game plan when you're playing against the West High Vikings. You cannot ignore the speed. It has to be a part of your thought all week long. Remember when I was playing hoop, whenever we knew we were going to get some big guys, we practiced that way. If we were going up some quick guards, we went up that way. Your thoughts on that in a moment on continual pressure from the speed of West High. 1st and 10, Vikings. Davison drops back. Let's see some of this arm strength. He lobs it up, and oh goodness, to be honest with you, a referee got in the way. Looked like a nice route and a nice pass, but shouldn't say he got in the way. He just happened to be standing at the wrong place at the wrong time.
They say they're part of the field, but definitely Foothill had a 12th defender out there.
Here comes our Volvo Rinse replay. We get to see the strong arm of Corey Davis.
Look at this wind up. He winds up and lets it fly. Going for the big receiver out there. That's that A.J. Jefferson. Fast kid, tall, good receiver. We'll talk more about receivers with Brian Adams down on the field here pretty soon. Last week we saw 2 really great receivers, and again we're getting to see one of the better receivers with A.J. Jefferson. So we'll talk to our receiver, one of the best to ever come out of here, Brian Adams.
Corey Davison, QB for West High, 2nd and 10, 5.5 left in the first quarter. Thrown out there to Princeton McCarty. We know about his speed. Can he handle a few hard hits? He can. He's thrown down hard, but it's a gain of about 9 yards. Let's go back to that thought. Training all week, if you're the team coming up against West High, training all week for that speed. What are kind of the drills you can go through as a coach in your defense?
Well, you're gonna do a lot of pursuit drills. You're gonna make your guys start, and that's part of your training for that day. Instead of just running wind sprints, you're gonna do pursuit drills. Talking to Coach Plater, Dallas Plater with the Foothill Trojans, he was talking about how they were going to try to contain him as much as possible and not let him get the edge.
3rd and 3. Davison decides to keep it, runs up the gut himself, goes out to the left. He gets a nice 11, 12-yard gain. Started up the gut and then took it to the left.
Yeah, they're running behind that left tackle, the big left tackle, Gary Sumlin, 6'3", 275. Folks, if that last name sounds familiar, that's because, yes, that's the younger brother of Sumlin, the running back at Fresno State.
Here's our Volvo Rinse replay, Paul.
Here we go. It's that dive option to the left, over to Sumlin's side. Davison makes a great read here. He's reading that defensive end. Defensive end shoots upfield, takes the back. He shoots it up, gets the first down.
1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. West High School most certainly in the neighborhood, and they are knocking on the door. 4:20 left here in the first quarter. Davison pitches out to his right. It's Ryan Matthews. Matthews trying to get to the outside. Could be touchdown, and it is 6-0 West High School.
There's something you just can't coach, and that's speed. Not only did West High's back have that, their linemen did a great job of stepping out with their right foot, getting out there, turning their shoulders, and making great lead blocks out there, Vance.
Hey, Kern County, Ryan Matthews, get to know this name even more. A junior, 6 foot, 195-pounder. I think we're going to see a lot of him this season.
As we said, fast, and faster. If one goes down, the next one comes in is not even a half a step slower. Unbelievable speed and depth on this West High team. You know, looking out here on the field, oh, here we go, extra point.
It's up and it's good. It's 7-0. Paul, go ahead and finish your point there.
Well, as we look out here, Vance, we look out and we look 61 guys suited up for West High, 61, 62, something like that. And we look down here at the Foothill Trojans, and they have about 27 guys suited up. It's heartening for the Foothill guys to look over there, and not only do they have a lot of speed they got to go against, they've got a lot of guys over there. And high school players do. They look at that.
It's 7-0 West High School, early lead here in the first quarter. Let's go down to Brian Adams. Brian, you're down on the goal line down there. Hey, you were standing down there when that running back went running past you. A lot of speed, huh?
You can see how powerful he is. At 6 foot, I think 195 pounds. Not only does he have the speed, you can see he gets his shoulders turned, and he's ready to run somebody over. So they have speed and power and strength. So West High could be something to reckon with this year. Back to you guys.
Brian, Paul said that you can't teach speed, but you can teach angle running. That starts at a young age for these running backs that have this speed. They get taught, hey, find a spot, run to it. This kid's looking good down there for West High. Paul, 7-0, you're Scott Douglas, head coach for Foothill. You've already talked to your kids, and me knowing Coach Douglas has probably said something like, hey, they're going to score. They're too good not to score. It's how we deal with it. It's what we have in return.
Yeah, and you know what? Coach Douglas is too good of a coach to get out of his game plan this early. we'll look and we'll see the same thing. Double tight set, split backs. He's going to try to control the ball, which they did. Their first few plays, they were making positive yardage. West High calls a great defensive play on the blitz on the 3rd and short. Other than that, Foothill's marching the ball down the field. It was a great defensive call. Here we go.
Jose Rezga deep. Matthew Peralta deep. It's going to be Peralta. Peralta takes it at the 6-yard line. He's got a little bit of blocking there, but nice coverage by the Vikings. Pick him up at the 23-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Foothill High Trojans. Well, we've got some big football games taking place around the community tonight, as well as this one we're watching, and we're bringing to you on Bright House Networks. Here's a couple of more big games, Paul. Liberty 1-0 at Centennial 0-1. The coaches know each other well. That ought to be a humdinger.
Wow, that's a coin toss. If they were playing at Liberty, I would definitely take Liberty. Playing at Centennial, Coach Nixon looked like he had his team prepared. I was watching TV earlier and saw a pregame interview, and he seemed pretty fired up, so it'll be interesting, that game.
Trojans 1st and 10. On their own 23-yard line, quarterback Anthony Herrera hands the ball up the middle. Looked like he had a bit of an opening, but West High Viking really hit him hard. It looked like the ball popped loose for a moment. I didn't see who made the tackle. Sorry about that, Kern County, but it was an awfully hard hit. Maybe the Volvo rinse will show us. If not, 2nd and 6. The clock is moving. Here's our Volvo rinse replay, and I want to see this to see who put that hard hit in there.
Well, we're coming around here.
Pokes through the hole here, and will we see it?
No, we can't quite see, but I'm guessing it's that big number 45 in the middle.
You'll give him a gratuitous stat.
Yeah, wow.
2nd and 8 for the Trojans. Herrera hands the ball up the middle to Jeremy Hernandez, and Hernandez does a nice roll and gets to about 6 and 7 yards. And this Foothill offense, they're going to have to get every inch the hard way. Earn it. You can see with Herrera down there making cuts, making rolls, going for any last yard he can get, Paul.
He looks like a good little back, and I don't mean that in a little way when I say little. He is a good back, good high school back, good balance, good vision. Here we go, 3rd and short. Last time Foothill tried to go out and run a toss on this 3rd and short, and West High blitzed him up the middle with Mackey. Is Foothill going to come back and come off tackle like they've been doing and get those 2 or 3 yards, or are they going to try to go outside against this fast offense? And you know what? I can't second guess the coaches. These coaches know their players better than I do, obviously. But if I'm a Foothill coach, I'm out here, I'm telling them, listen, we're moving the ball. It's 3rd and short. We've ran 2 plays, and we've already had 8 yards in 2 plays. That's an average of 4 yards per play. Guys, you can push this line back. We're not going to try to go outside and try to beat West High speed. We're going to come after them and more or less kind of punch them in the mouth. Not literally punch them in the mouth, of course.
Probably.
But come out, go right at them. They've gotten 4 yards per run the last 2 carries. Let's hope they don't try to go outside like they did last time, and West High blitzed Mackey. And that's what happened last time. That's why they had to punt.
Well, there's a great shot from our Bright House Networks crew right there. You see both head coaches out there. Scott Douglas on your right. He's running off the field. Rich Cornford on your left. He's jogging off the field. Hey, look at that trot by Coach Douglas. Goodness gracious. He looks like he's running in the Ned Perminter 150. 3rd and 1. Big play for the Trojans. You're right, Paul. They have been moving the ball well. Why not go right up the gut again? Let's see what happens. West High digging in on defense. Just under 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Important play for the Trojans. They hand the ball off. He goes to the left side. Hey, he's got some room out there. He's got a breakaway. Let's see what happens, Kern County. This could be a big play for the Trojans. And it is. Matthew Peralta breaks 1 tackle on the outside, and that's all he needed, Paul Press. He got about 55 yards, and that is a much-needed shot in the arm for this Trojan offense and the fans right below us.
Wow, that was a great run here. They're going off tackle, which we were all hoping they would. Coach Douglas being the smart coach. He rolls it. He's running off tackle here. He sets up number 8. Nice move. Wow. Sets him up. Straight arm there. Gets him off him. Shakes him off. Gets to the corner. Shows the speed here when he gets to the corner.
Angles.
And then look who runs him down, though. This is scary, folks. Number 45, that middle linebacker, runs him down.
Darren Mackey. In the early running for the Paul Press Award.
Oh.
He's a captain, and he saved a touchdown, Paul. You're right. From the shotgun, out to that same gentleman. That's Matthew Peralta. Matthew Peralta got hit very hard that time by Brandon Smith, and guess who? Darren Mackey.
Yeah,
I think
Darren
Mackey's listening up to you, Paul.
Hey, I tell you, this is a great call, though. I like this call. Personally, I like it. Coach Douglas, way to go. This is a good call. A little bubble screen out to the outside. you know what, we've been pounding inside, so let's see if West High is going to adjust their defense when we put a slot out there and we run this bubble screen. This is a good call. These coaches up here right in front of us, these Foothill coaches, they were noticing, they knew that call, so they were looking to see what West High is going to adjust on that bubble screen.
2 minutes left in the first quarter. 2 receivers split left for the Trojans. Anthony Herrera, the quarterback. Anthony Herrera hands the ball up the middle. The ball was handed off to Jeremy Hernandez. Hernandez stopped immediately at the line by the West High defense.
Yeah, it looks like West High was trying to run a little draw there and didn't quite sell that draw. The quarterback did a straight drop back. He didn't show the ball or anything. The linebackers, Mackey and his crew back there, the other linebackers, they didn't bite on that draw at all. They had their ears pinned and they were filling gaps there. So we'll see.
At the West High 24-yard line, 3rd and 7 for the Trojans. They've got everybody packed in tight except for 2 men out on the right side. Wishbone. Handoff goes to Peralta. Peralta trying to get outside again. The Vikings let him slip by once, but not this time. He's wrapped up. It'll be 4th down. Excellent execution by the Vikings. They almost overplayed it, caught up with themselves, and made a great tackle. 4th down.
Well, here's the difference. Foothill's team last year, they had Matt Alvarez, who's now at Southern University. Last year, Foothill, they line up right here and they kick a field goal. This year, they have a good young kicker. Their punter and their kicker, Jose, is it Rizoga? I'm sorry, Jose, we'll get that right. Boy, I slaughtered that poor kid. But it looks like Foothill's not going to kick it here. They're going to line up and go for it. That's the difference between last year's team and this year's team. They're missing that one kicker, although the coaches told me they've got a pretty good kickers this year.
We've got a timeout on the field, an important timeout. Scott Douglas, one of his coordinators with him on the north side of this field out here at Foothill High School. We've got the West High coaches over there dealing with their issues at hand with a 4th down. I've got the coaching staff, so we'll give you real quick before we get out of here on this play. Scott Douglas, your head coach for the Foothill Trojans, assistant coach Dallas Plater, and John Wren, head coach for the Vikings. Rich Cordfield, you've got assistant coaches of Chris Bandy, Derek Dunham, Sean Miller. Here we go, 35 seconds left in the first quarter. Big play at the 20-yard line, 4th and 4 for the Trojans. Trying to go for the hard count. Didn't happen. Has to call a timeout. We've seen this before. It's nothing new in football. Try to get a team to jump off and get an easy 5, but coached by the incomparable Rich Cornford, it's not going to happen.
No. There's a good job of coaching there. The West High coaches, led by their head coach, and he's also their defensive coordinator, Rich Cornford, keeping his guys disciplined, keeping them disciplined. I tell you, we're always talking about the West High speed. Foothill's showing some speed.
Hey man, when I was in high school, Foothill had a ton of speed, believe me. I remember those cats.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about a couple more games here tonight, Paul. We've got the defending Valley champions, East High Blades and Jim Naples heading over to North High School tonight. East versus North. You know, tonight is a game here that we're watching. West and Foothill, original members of the SYL. 2 more original members of the SYL, East and North. What do you like there?
No offense, Coach Maples, but I'm going to have to go with Coach Snow's North High. I think they're going to upset East High. East High is very good, but as a coach, you know, it wouldn't be such a bad thing for East High to lose one early in the season. Keep those kids kind of in check, as we say.
Look at this.
I think North High may upset them.
We'll see. 4th and 4. Can he get outside? We'll see. He does. Hey, Kern County, what a nice run this is for Foothill High. Jeremy Hernandez looked like he may be brought down early, but he hangs on, looks for the spot, grabs it, and goes. This Foothill High crowd is liking this. Hey, our Volvo Rents, Paul shows us how.
There we go. They're running what we call a stretch play. They're going to let him get out there and create. Nice call. Once again, Coach Douglas showing why he's a head coach in this league and gets these young men up. First of all, to go for it shows confidence to your players. Tells his team, hey, I'm behind you guys. I'm with you. Let's do it. Great call.
We may not get this play off, and we don't. That's the end of the first quarter. 7-0 West High School leads Foothill High. We're at Foothill High, and they are looking to score themselves. It's 1st and 5. We'll be back in a moment with the second quarter. You're watching Bright House Network's High School Football Game of the Week.
Thousands of Kern County residents are realizing just what satellite is really worth. With Bright House Networks, you get more. Local channels and local programming, movies and favorites on demand, high-speed internet, and the DVR, all without a long-term contract. Try that with satellite. Join over 4,500 of your neighbors and dump the dish for Bright House Networks. Call 323-4892 to make the smart move today.
Honey, are you gonna do that yard work today?
I'm looking up all the places I need to go. Next Saturday, I'll go and get the stuff.
Locally owned and operated Volvo Rents has everything you need for that weekend home improvement project. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will guide you through our vast assortment of tools, supplies, and rental equipment. From concrete or masonry mix, mixers or finishing tools, to lawn equipment and landscaping supplies and more. At Volvo Rents, we deliver more care in every rental.
I got you everything you need at Volvo Rents. Here's some gloves. Bye.
First and goal from the 5-yard line. First play of the second quarter. Trojans and their quarterback, Anthony Herrera, trying to get in the end zone. Herrera hands the ball off to Peralta. Peralta makes the cut upfield. He's stopped at the 1-inch line, or is he in?
Wow.
Oh, boy, that looked close to me. Second down and inches. Matthew Peralta really has a way about him. I like how he keeps his balance, makes his moves.
Yeah, his shoulders are square too. You see it here on the replay. He gets out there right about here. He's going to turn his shoulders upfield and get there. Oh! Once again, my guy, I hate to keep saying his name, but there's Mackey again. Right there.
No reason to hate saying it. If he's making that many tackles, he's making it. Hey, Brian Adams, your goal line. Oh, you're deep in the end zone down there. What do you have for us?
Well, the one thing we have is Peralta and Hernandez. They played well last year when they were in games, ran the ball hard. They are the heart and soul of this team on offense. And if they can get going like they did in that series so far and just plug and chug, get a couple of big breaks, West High could have a ball game on their hands, fellas. Back to you, Vance.
Thank you. That's the voice of Brian Adams in his 8th year now with Bright House Networks. He's down on the field this year. And let me tell you what, Kern County, if you didn't catch our game last week, Stockton at BHS, whoo, what a way to start off our season in 2005. Brian, a huge part of it down there, scooping up information and basically eating food and not giving it to Paul and I, but we'll get through it.
Yeah, he didn't help us out and give us anything last week except for some great reporting.
Second goal from the 1, Foothill, knocking on the door. Quarterback Anthony Herrera. He's got Peralta in the backfield with him. The ball goes, oh, he's hit hard by the Vikings. Yikes. Jeremy Hernandez actually thrown for a loss. And what was 2nd and inches is now going to be 3rd and 4, Paul.
Yeah, I might have just kept it to the quarterback here. Once again, he turns around, and look who he runs into. Ooh!
Oh, Kern
Number
County.
45. There's his number coming across the screen. I don't particularly like the call too much, but I'm not calling the offense. I don't see him covering that center. I would have probably kept it with my quarterback. Quarterback looks pretty good, got some strong legs. Just gives West High a chance to blitz somebody, get him in their backfield.
Peralta Hernandez in the backfield. 3rd and goal, it says from the 1, but it's a real long one. Herrera hands the ball to Peralta. Hey, that's a touchdown, Kern County. 7-6. Foothill down by 1. Well,
Nice
Brian
piece of
Adams was down on the field, and he reminded us, hey, fellas, 2 downs to get in. They got in. Brian, are you impressed? Are you impressed with this Foothill offense? Brian, give me your thoughts on this Foothill offense down there.
Well, Vance, on that situation right there, great answer back to the West High Vikings. They came back, big downs on 3rd down, making big plays with Hernandez and Peralta. And here they are now with 1 extra point away from tying this game up. And anytime you're underdog, you just want to hold in there, Vance, and hopefully something to break your way in the end.
Thank you, Brian. The left foot kick is blocked. I mean, it is blocked by committee. 3 Vikings in there to bust up that extra point. So it'll remain 7-6. West High leads by 1, and they'll be receiving the kickoff from Foothill High. Paul, Brian said it. They just kept chipping away. They finally got it in. Here's our Volvo Rents touchdown for the Trojans. Peralta.
Yeah. He goes off the left tackle there. Gets hit initially, keeps his feet turning, and with a little second effort gets in there. Nice piece of running. I like the fact that Foothill came out, took it to West High, showed that they have it inside. I tell you, Foothill's got a center. His brother played last year, number 51. This kid can flat out play. 5'10". Let me see, number 51. I'm sorry, I just lost my position here. They're not in order.
Come on, Paul.
5'10", 265.
Man.
265, I think, is light. I'm looking down there.
That's a train.
Yeah, and he can flat out play. Ivan, and it's Quinceros, his last name there. His brother played. Now I believe his brother's up at BC playing for Bakersfield College. Both these boys can play.
He's talking about Ivan Quiros, 5'10", 265. Man, that is a load. And he's a senior, so let's see if he follows his brother's footsteps. I'm sure Coach Judy'd like to have that size on his squad.
Yeah, and centers are hard to get. Good centers, built like that. This kid can definitely go play for the Renegades, I would hope.
Well, if he went in next year, we'd be taking over from who? Corey Actis is at center this year at 6'5" and a bunch.
Yeah,
we'll talk about BC football here in a few moments. That's the most obvious segue we'll take in a few moments. Hey, at 6-7, Trojans trailing by 1. Beautiful full moon peeking up over Bear Mountain, smiling on my home field of Arvin Idenite. We'll talk about that game in a few moments. Just underway in the second quarter. Well, Trojans ready to kick. 3 deep for the Vikings, and it's going to go to their fast one. Princeton McCarty picks it up. He looks like he's got some room there. Tries to make a cut. He's got a guy in the way. And if he's not wrapped up, he's going to be gone. He tried to break it, tried to get free, but it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 25. Vikings leading by 1.
Yeah, it looked like his own man there. I don't understand this. We coach and we coach these kids up. Don't turn around and look. If you're blocking on a kickoff,
right.
last thing you want to do is stop, because that back's coming through there. His head's down. He's taught to run and hit a hole. Lineman, don't stop. If you're blocking, get your head down. First, opposite color jersey, lock up, block them, and keep your feet going.
Great advice, Paul. 1st and 10. Looks like the Vikings want to strike early. Corey Davison hands the ball up the middle. A big gap. Look out, Kern County. We might have something scary. It's going to happen. Cortez Donald, a couple more to break, and if he does, no, he's finally pulled out of bounds. Derek Smith, most certainly a touchdown saving tackle out there, or at least forced him out of bounds. And hey, 1st and 10, 50-yarder right up the gut. That's West High School. I think Coach Cornford said, all right, fellas, we have the webs out. We have the cobwebs out.
He's lined up in the fullback position. This is one fast fullback. He played tailback last year. They moved him to the fullback position, so they have 2 speed backs back there. He's a strong kid. He pops this up the middle and pops it out and turns it 20-yard gain into 50.
1st and 10. Looks like we've got our first laundry of the game. A very well-played game so far. The referees really haven't made a call yet, and they've allowed these players to prove to them that they've got a handle on things. But this one was obvious. We had some motion, and while this is being called, let's take a look at another game. Delano, 0-1 at Ridgeview. We saw the running back from Ridgeview last week just go on a rampage. What do you think, the Tigers or Ridgeview?
Well, I used to be the defensive coordinator at Delano High.
Uh-oh.
But I'm going to have to go against my the head coach over there. I'm also friends with the head coach at Ridgeview, Mike Cruz. I think Ridgeview is the real deal, and they're going to surprise some people this year. Ridgeview will get that one.
1st and 15 for the Vikings on their own 40-yard line. Harrison drops back, throws one out, has a man wide open, should be a touchdown, and it is. Oh, boy.
Pass is complete from Corey Davison, number 6.
Oh, boy.
A.J.
Jefferson
for a West High touchdown.
Looked like he was about 15 yards open. Brian Adams, you were down on the goal line or close to it when that play developed. Before he even let the ball out of his hands, you told me touchdown.
Once again, we have a situation where you have a Division I caliber receiver, and you can see with his speed, he gets by the defensive back and just waltzes into the end zone, and that's why he's turned so many heads at the Nike camp. Back to you guys.
Extra point attempt by the Vikings. Jose Ventura waiting for the snap. There's the snap, the hold, and it's up. Paul Bryan talks about these D1 receivers. We saw 2 last week. A little early, quite possibly the same D1 so far for A.J. Jefferson after this one TD, but if his speed is any indication and his presence and his peace of mind out in the field, he looks very comfortable. He also could be a pretty special player.
Yes. He didn't play last year, Vance. This is his first year playing varsity football. But this summer, he impressed a lot of people with his flat-out speed. Fresno State is interested in this young man because of his speed and his height. He can catch the ball, as we just saw right there. With that height and that speed, of course, Division I's going to look at him. We're going to talk about Division I players, wide receivers in particular, later on with Brian Adams. West High had a player last year we all heard of, Brandon Smith. He's now at Arizona State University in redshirting. Brian's going to walk us through what it's like to be a receiver in the Pac-10 later on. We'll get a chance to talk to him about that.
I look forward to talking to my man B down there about Division I or Pac-10 wide receivers tomorrow. A very big game for the Bruins of UCLA as they take on the Oklahoma Sooners. I picked Bruins. We'll see, Big B. We'll see. I think Oklahoma could stumble. We'll see. 14-6. Vikings lead by 8. We're just underway in the second quarter. This is Bright House Network's exclusive coverage of the high school football game of the week. Ooh, he thumped it. It's taken out there by Jose Reza. Looks to get some room to run. Almost wrapped up by one Viking, and he's finally caught out there by number 24, Jason Price. It looks like there's a flag on the field. We'll see what that call is while we're waiting for the news on the penalty. Paul, let's talk about this game. South at Arvin. South's got a running back that's for real. Arvin pulls off a big win last Friday night with the front page man of the hour, Ricky Akala, pulling off an OT touchdown. Your thoughts, South at Arvin. Be careful, buddy.
You know what?
Be careful.
Coach Napier, don't take this the wrong way, but Arvin, I think Arvin's going to keep it on the ground and run that clock out and keep Maldonado, the quarterback for South High, off the field and keep him from throwing so much.
Smart move. You got one Arvin bear here and the son of another bear up here. Better make the right call on that one, Press.
Yeah, I kind of looked up. I got two big guys in front of me. Coach Grutter is up here and yourself. I'm the small one up here with all these guys around here.
That's the voice of Paul Press, a well-schooled and well-respected voice of football here in Kern County. And as the weeks go on, we'll try to unveil more and more developments with our Arena Football 2 team here. The Blitz, everybody loves their Blitz, and we'll talk about that as the weeks unfold here. Next week, Centennial at East. Yikes, what a football game. First and 10 for the Trojans.
Looking forward to that one.
Anthony Herrera's done a fine job running this Foothill offense so far. Handoff goes to Jeremy Hernandez. Jeremy Hernandez, again, they're trying to find that and keep that success going to the outside against West High School. West High School, they have their speed and they can run these guys down, but hey, I think the average carry right now for the Trojans is about 4.5, 5 yards.
Yeah, once again, Foothill gives us a different look. They come out, they kind of spread it out. If you notice, the lineman took a little wider stance, and they also ran a slot on that side, put a receiver out there in between their tackle and their other receiver. And here they come in doubles now. We've got 4 receivers for Foothill. Look at this. They come out in doubles.
2nd and 4. Herrera hands the ball off again out there to Jeremy Hernandez. With all of those receivers split so far, they're left for an awfully big gap in that defense, in that offense to come up there and make that tackle. So maybe he gets 1 yard. Brings up a long 3rd down, Paul.
Yeah, well, we will see. Here they are in doubles. They come out, they try to spread them out and get those linebackers to walk out on those slot backs. They don't bite, obviously. They weren't worried about the throw here, and they played the run. They played it right.
It shows that they lost a yard, so it brings up 3rd and 5. 9 minutes left here in the second quarter. Foothill High School trailing by 8. They like to keep the ball moving here, obviously. West High defense digs in for a big stop. Herrera looks to the right, throws across the middle. Oh, right on the numbers, and it is intercepted by the Vikings. Picked off out there by Brandon Smith, and that's tough luck because that pass was, that's the proverbial hit him in the numbers, hit him in a bad place, huh?
Yeah, and it just adds to Brandon Smith's stats. Great free safety. We're going to see it here just off the hands.
Oh, man.
Right out here. Not a nice throw. I like the way he sets up and fires the ball. And here we go. Ball's up. Brandon Smith keeps his eyes on it. Looks the ball in before he tries to run. Here we go. West High going the other way.
Ball intended out there for Raul Rodriguez from the Trojans, and had he pulled that in, it'd be 1st and 10 Trojans. Tough break. Brian Adams down on the field in my ear saying West should attack right now. Let's see what happens. 1st and 10. Harrison hands the ball out to Preston McCarty. McCarty goes backwards, and he's thrown for a very big loss. As he tries to break free, they finally bring him down to a knee. And I wasn't trying to make a rhyme, but I think he relies so much on his speed to get out of things, couldn't do it.
You know, it looks to me like this was some type of trick play. Here we go. Watch. Look here. It looks like he's going to toss it back. No, I don't have time to toss it back. It looked like it was going to be some type of little flea flicker play here. And then all of a sudden, here comes the Foothill guys coming in.
Well, McCarty ran up the gut, and he saw that his big man, Corey Schlusser, 6'2", 200 pounds, had either been knocked down or fallen down, and he couldn't go through the gap he wanted to, backed it up a bit, and now that brings up 2nd and 27 for the Viking offense. 2nd and 27. They're at the midfield point, just under 8 minutes here in the second quarter. Corey Davison looks to throw, has a lot of pressure, breaks one tackle, can't get it out of the grasp of number 51 out there, Ivan Quiros. Ivan Quiros with a big play. That quarterback could have rambled for a good 15, 20 yards.
Yeah, they came out in what they call flex formation, trips to the right. Foothill stayed at home, came with the pressure. Now, if they don't get there, that's a big play for West High. It's kind of a gambling defense. I like the gambling defense on that. You got to give them pressure and go, or you're never going to get there. In West High speed, they're just going to pick you apart.
3rd and 26. Vikings probably looking forward to this play. Get to air it out a little bit. They've got receivers all over the place. Davidson drops back. He wants to launch his long arm. He does, and it looks like another long completion. And will it be a touchdown? No. Brought down right in front of Brian Adams at the 1 yard line. Brian, you are pretty much right on top of that. What are you seeing, Brian, from these West High receivers and how they're setting these defenders up so well?
Well, one thing you have with the West High receivers is a lot of speed. And when you got guys that can run like that, it's a lot of stress on the defensive backs or linebackers to cover them. And so right there you have a situation where Princeton gets by them, and it's an easy pitch and catch, and it's going to be 1st and goal for the West High Vikings.
Corey Davison probably wouldn't like to see that toss on film as far as it not being a perfect spiral, but goodness, a nice 45-yarder on the money. 1st and goal from the 1-inch line. It looks as if we have a Foothill timeout, and it is. 6:42 left in the first half. The Vikings are most certainly in the neighborhood, knocking on the door at the 6-inch line. They're up by 8 points. You're watching Bright House Network's High School Football Game of the Week. I'm Vance Palm alongside Paul Press, and down on the field we'll get back to Brian Adams in a moment. Antelope Valley coming into what now is rough territory with the Drillers being 1-0 with that huge win last week. First, let's stop it right there. Let's talk about that game we had last week. Because Bright House Network's subscribers, if you didn't catch this game, having the opportunity in your living room to watch it, you missed a big one. Stockdale at BHS. Let's recap that game in about a minute. Wasn't that great?
It was a game of 2 halves. All BHS the first half, all Stockdale the second half. Not quite enough for the Stockdale Mustangs. Maybe another minute, maybe another minute or two in that game.
Maybe another 10 seconds.
Another 10 seconds. We have a different ending, you know. I don't think Stockdale lost that game. As we say, they just simply ran out of time.
That was an excellent ball game. We'll talk about Antelope Valley heading to BHS tonight at the appropriate time. It's 1st and goal. Vikings. They're not even knocking on the door. They're pounding on the door. I formation. Ooh, hit hard at the line, but I think he may be in. No, the line judge says he is down, and I guess he's down on the 1 millimeter line. It looked like he might have poked in there, but Paul, that's nice contact at the line.
Yeah, good penetration by the Foothill Trojan defensive line. They really stayed low here. Their shoulder pads stay low. They get up underneath the West High offensive linemen and get that penetration. The key here is when you're coaching these young men, not to tell all the coaches how to coach. These high school coaches know how to coach. But you want to teach these guys, maybe if you're coaching little guys, get them down in a 4-point stance. Make them get down there and stay low.
It looks like that last hit was Herman Williams. Nice stop. 2nd and goal, and he's going to take it in himself. Corey Davidson, the big, strong quarterback, muscles his way in. West High is up 20-6. So the costly turnover, the Foothill Trojans look like they might have a 1st down. The ball gets dropped. It gets not dropped. It lands in the hands of our man Brandon Smith. The next thing you know, the Vikings are up 20-6. You talk about that Foothill Trojan heart. They're going to need it right now with just under 6 minutes to go in this first half. As far as Mother Nature is concerned, it's an absolutely perfect evening here. The last Friday night of the summer of 2005. It's up and it's good. 21-6, Vikings lead. You're watching Bright House Network's high school football game of the week. There's big Brian Adams down there. Well, I guess just didn't want to see big Brian.
Here we go. Hey, Brian, if you can hear me down there, on that big play, they had doubles. What we call doubles, a lot of people call 4 receivers wide. It looked like from my view up here, they went 4 verts, meaning all 4 receivers ran straight, running go routes. Could you tell what Foothill's coverage was at that time at your level? I wasn't looking at their coverage. I was looking at the 4 verts.
Yeah, and it looked like they were running 4 verts, but actually what it was a post with a wheel route. The post was run by Jefferson, and Princeton ran the wheel route, and it was man-to-man coverage, and that's how they got him.
Hey, Kerr County, I don't know if it gets any better than this. Paul Press and Brian Adams swapping game lingo for our crowd out there. I enjoy it. This is nice stuff. Brian, thank you, and thank you, Paul. Bright House Networks. It's going to be great. You know what? We're going to win some type of award from Ned Permenter or Chuck Chamberlain, or someone's going to give us something. I don't know, a sandwich or something for our high level of, look at this, West High School at Foothill. We're covering that game. Let's move up here to the Holy Bowl tomorrow night. Garces at San Joaquin Memorial. Both teams 0-1 early in the season. I'll get your thoughts on that in a moment. The Holy Bowl tomorrow night in Fresno. West High School to kick off. It's the George Blanda kick, and it is deep. Caught on the 5-yard line. Oh, wow. That's Jose Reza. And he's 165 pounds, 5'6", and he runs into a wall. But in essence, it's 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. So let's see if these Trojans can get rolling. Here's our kick return here by Jose Ruzga. And watch the 20-yard line here, Kern County. 5, 4, 3, bam! Oh, man. A lot of yellow helmets there, Paul, but hey, that's good coverage.
Yeah, I'm still giggling a little bit on that. What'd you call that kick? The
George Blanda kick. The guy kicked it right straight off his toe, like super toe. Remember that? George Blanda.
Vaguely, I'll remember that.
Some appreciators out there. Just under 6 minutes left in the first half. Trojans of Foothill High hosting the Vikings. The ball is handed off to Matthew Peralta. Peralta's had a lot of time here. I thought he had dropped the ball, but I couldn't see through the players. It looks like the Vikings are up and stoked, and they are. A tough break for the Trojans. Matthew Peralta, I think he lost this ball at the very last part of this play. Here's our handoff in the Volvo Rents replay, Paul, and let's see what happened here. Oh, it looked like he was down. I thought his knee had hit the ground. I thought he was down by contact. The refs were right there on top of it, and they say it's West High football.
Yeah, they were right there on top of it. But you know what? It looked like he rolled his ankle in pain or something, dropped the ball.
1st and 10, West High. Looking to attack, as Brian Adams says, this is the time to do it. Yep, and they will. Davison drops back, looks for the corner, touchdown. Well, Brian Adams, you're down there pretty much calling this offense for the Vikings, saying attack now, attack now. They just did it now. It's going to be a very difficult climb for the Trojans.
Vance, that's one of the things you want to do when you have speed. You get a big turnover on the plus side of the field. You want to attack with your receiving game, especially when you got a kid like Jefferson. But you see his speed. He's just on cruise control, running by guys. And again, that's just tossing it up and going and get it. And you're now down 27-6.
PAT for the Vikings on the hold. It looks like number 1, Brandon Smith. Is that Brandon Smith on the hold? No, it's not. I'll get that number in just a moment. It looked like Sean Herbst. Sean Herbst holding the ball. The hold is up. Jose Ventura. It's botched. 27-6. Score with 5:37. Paul Press, you want to talk to Brian? Get it on.
Yeah, Brian, what I saw up here is West High comes out with what they call their flex, trips to the right, away from you, and they get an isolation on your side. It looks like Foothill Trojans are playing man on the backside on the single route against A.J. Jeffries, one of the fastest kids, receivers in the Valley, and running a zone coverage on the trips. What are you seeing down there, or do you think Foothill's going to adjust to that at halftime?
Well, your adjustment to that is, what do? Do you sit back and let him catch a hitch? He still has the ability to go 80 on you. So you got to pick your poison. You try to come up and make a play, he gets by him, and again, you got to give the quarterback a good job of throwing the ball. He put the ball out where only he can get it, and he'll threw it up, let his receiver make a play. But you're talking about a Division I level player on a high school field, and you can always tell the difference because they're just a cut above the rest.
Great point, Brian. Same thing in hoop. I can tell you that, man. You'd be on the court with somebody that just happened to be a bit more gnarlier than you were. They could jump higher, shoot better, or just get it on. And so, you can tell. 5:37 left in the second half. Trojans trailing by a bunch right now. Vikings up 27-6. It's been a pretty clean game so far. A couple of penalties here and there. They haven't been significant ones. They haven't really hurt anybody. Vikings kick off again. The ball taken by Peralta. Peralta's seen a lot of action tonight already. He gets the ball and brings it up to about the 30-yard line, and that's just the quintessential look at Foothill High. Don't want to go down. They'll fight. That's them in a nutshell, Paul.
Yeah, these kids have the biggest heart. I said it before the game. Foothill kids have always played with heart. They're tough kids over here. They're not going to lie down and take this. They're going to come back. I like that, though, on the kickoff. West High Vikings, they're yanking on that ball, trying to get into his head a little bit. He just fumbled play before, so they're trying to pull on that ball and see if they can get it out again.
A special hello to the Foothill High School principal, Mark Richardson, a longtime buddy of mine, legendary quarterback for the Shafter Generals and the Bakersfield College Renegades. Talk about a gun. And a great field general, knew how to get his guys going. Mark Richardson has a beautiful high school, and Foothill High School couldn't look better tonight. I thought I was there at the Coliseum. 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Ball goes up the middle, and again, they keep running it. They're just not going to stop. They're going to keep the ball on the ground and keep pounding away. One more thing about Mark Richardson. He's had a great chat about his kids and his players and his coaches, and Paul Press spoke last week of all the great coaches that we have in the community. We also have a lot of excellent principals, administrators, teachers, and some of them are both. So great to see Mark Richardson down there, and just has this field looking great. And I drive by this school quite a bit and going back and forth to Lamont and Arvin out in the Grape Vineyards, and this place just looks great. Kudos to you, Mark Richardson. 2nd and 3 here on 2nd down. It looks like the Trojans. One man on the backfield. Could he go to the air? No, he doesn't. Tries to get outside. Peralta cuts up, makes a nice cut, and I think he's going to pick up a 1st down. Peralta's getting those yards that he needs, Paul.
Yeah, smart play here with 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Last thing you want if you're a Foothill Trojan is put the ball in the air and have a turnover happen here. You've got plenty of time. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's chew up some of this clock. Let's end this first half on a positive note. Try to get a score. Go in at halftime. And, come back out and play a second half and get back in this ball game.
1st and 10. Trojans pick up a 1st down. They are on the 41-yard line of their side of the 50. They'd like to get into that other side of the field and see if they can do some damage. Look out. West High reads it perfectly, and I think that they went to the well a bit too many times in a row. If they mix it up here and there, they might be able to pull something out.
Brian Adams made a great call right now. He's in our ear, and I saw the same thing, Brian. West High is just putting everybody in the box. 8, 9 guys. They're packing the box. They're going to tease Foothill here. They're going to bait them. See, can you throw against us? Because they're going to make them throw the ball here, because West High is saying, you know what, we're not going to let you run against us anymore. If you're going to beat us, you're going to have to put the ball in the air.
Great shot of legendary Foothill coach Ned Permenter soaking in the evening. Tomorrow night, he'll be soaking in a great evening for himself. Look out. Foothill tries to go to the air. The quarterback, Anthony Herrera, has some problems, and he's getting kind of aggravated. He's getting, a little bit agitated. It gets a bit of a grind after a while when you're trying to make things happen here. Here's our Volvo Rinse replay. We can see this young quarterback trying to make things happen.
Yeah, West High, they put 8 up here. They see him roll back. The linebackers drop back, get in coverage, and West High just brings it. Here comes number 21 off the outside, and they blitz from the outside coming in. He has nowhere else to go.
3rd and 19 for the Trojans. 2:45 left in the first half. Rodriguez in motion. Herrera throws the ball up, and oh my goodness, a big mistake. He tried to get rid of it. Throws it into the hands of number 52, Jonathan Corker. Jonathan Corker, hey, he's got himself a stat now, a big stat.
Well, just what we just got done saying, what Foothill didn't want to happen. You know, and here's what West High did. They bait him in. Number 21, Ryan Matthews, comes down, almost gets his second sack in a row here, and quarterback makes a bad decision, you know, but they're high school kids. He's just trying to make something happen, folks. I'm sure he didn't say, you know what, I'm going to throw it to somebody else this play.
2.5 left in the first half. West High School looking to put up some more numbers on the board. Corey Davison had a few touchdowns here in the past 4 or 5 minutes. Running and throwing. The ball goes to Cartez Donald. Cartez Donald up the middle for 1 or 2, and now it looks like Rich Cornford is content to grind the clock down a little bit and get his running game going.
Yeah, he's gonna work this clock. Coach Cornford's gonna work this clock all the way down. They may score unless they pop one here. They're going to get all the way down into by the end zone with 30 seconds left, maybe.
2nd and 7. Corey Davidson, 6'3", 210-pound quarterback. He's just gained 5 pounds in the first quarter, 2 quarters. I gave him 5 extra pounds. Oh, look at this. What a great pitch. He timed it perfectly, and that's a touchdown, Kern County. Princeton McCarty takes the pitch, and quarterback Corey Davidson took a big hit. He timed it down to the split nanosecond, got that ball out, and 33-6 Vikings.
Yeah, here they go. We're going to see this dive option, straight option here to the short side of the field. They do a nice job. This quarterback does a great job. It's all him. He sells it out. Of course, the line has everything to do with it. They continue to run on Sumlin's side, big number 78. You know, 275 pounds. They're going to continue to run to his side. They run the option to the short side of the field, touchdown.
Jose Ventura for the point after. The snap, the hold, the kick, and nice little chip shot, puts it in, and that makes it 34-6. 34-6 Vikings. Everything happening well for them, everything going right for them. And things getting to be a grind here for the Trojans. Here's the replay.
Here we go. Fake the dive. Quarterback carries out, comes down the line of scrimmage. Last second pitches it out to one of the best backs in the valley. And there he goes. Touchdown. And good sportsmanship there. No reason to dive and show it off. Just hold the ball up, take it in. You know, we got a little bit of time. I'm really curious because I didn't get to play in the Pac-10. But we've got a guy down on the field that did play in the Pac-10, and West High just sent a kid last year to the Pac-10. Brandon Smith is at Arizona State. He's redshirting as a freshman. Our guy down on the field, Brian Adams, he didn't get to redshirt his freshman year. Brian, what's Brandon going through now at the Pac-10? What's he seeing?
Speed and size, Brian, as well as the pressures of, you know, academics at that level, and just living in a big city and changing homes into a dorm room or a college apartment. You're right, Brian. We'll cover that in a moment right after this kick. West High School to kick off again. They've done a lot of it here in the first half. Taken again on about the 7-yard line by Jose Daniel Marmolejo. Marmolejo is still on his feet. These West High Vikings can't quite get him down. We've got some laundry, a little flag at the end of the play. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Here we go.
Well, it's 34-6. Vikings lead the Trojans of Foothill High on their own turf. Trojans hosting the Vikings, and we see Marmolejo here goes up the gun here, and it looks like he's got something happening. And these Foothill Trojan runners, they keep their legs going.
Yeah, it's right here. Look at his legs. Just keep turning, and here comes a host of West High guys. You know, West High's got a little step, you know, a little pep in their step, and we're starting to see the Foothill guys kind of walking back to the sidelines, walking out. You know, this is hard. You look up, you know, you're a 17-year-old young man. You want to show people, you know, you're at home. You want to show you can play with the West High Vikings, but you look up, it's 34-6. It's a little disheartening.
I would like to say the freshman and JV team for Foothill scored victories. The freshman team last night, the JV team tonight. So the Trojans building on their youth. Herrera drops back. A nice completion out there. Anthony Herrera completes it out to Jose Marmoleo, and that was a nice strike.
Anthony Herrera, good for you, young man. That's how you play quarterback right there. Watch this film, young man. When you go to watch film, you take what you just did right here and watch it at least 10 or 15 times because your footwork was perfect, young man. You showed the ball, you reversed out, you set your back foot, you threw a perfect strike. That's how playing football and playing the position of quarterback is done.
Good to hear, Paul. Good to hear. $1:10 left in the first half. 1st and 10. They had a first down strike on that first play. Herrera back again. He lets it fly across the middle, and a last-minute play out there by number 6, A.J. Jefferson. Yeah, D1 talent on both sides of the ball. That was almost a TD, but A.J. came in there and made a great play. Hope you get to see that on replay. And we do our Volvo Rinse replay.
Once again, quarterback sets, fires a strike.
Wow.
Anybody else back there? Foothill's running in for a touchdown right now. Like I said, you cannot coach speed, and that was just flat speed breaking on that ball.
Nice pass by Herrera, but a better play by A.J. Jefferson, the 6'1", 175-pound senior for the Vikings. 2nd and 10 for the Trojans. Ball goes up the middle. It's a nice run up there, but it looks like it's a fumble. Ball is loose. Trojan ball. 3rd and we'll say about 5.
Yeah, we see it here at the end here. Right there, number 21 comes in. Ryan Matthews comes in and just laying his shoulder pad, knocking the ball loose. Luckily, the ball bounces right back in. Foothill ball.
Half a minute left. Trojans, no timeouts left. They used them. Now the referee's blowing the whistle, so let's see what happens. Rich Cornford coming off on the West High School side. He calls a timeout. He'll march his way out to the middle of the field to get with his defensive unit for the Vikings. Hey, it's 34-6. You're watching high school football on Bright House Networks, exclusively only on Bright House Networks. Next week, big guy, not only will the entire world be celebrating my 40th birthday because the word gets around, but the Golden Hawks Centennial will be visiting the home turf of East High Blades. Coach Jim Maples will welcome Coach Mixon and his Golden Hawks with a little bit of a swagger. Last year, Valley champions, only to be beaten by my Arvin Bears, so should be one whale of a ball game. September 23rd, the first game of the autumn season for us.
Yeah, hopefully they'll both be coming off wins tonight, although they both have very tough games tonight. You know, Centennial with Liberty, East High over at North High, having to take on those Stars. But I tell you what, it's going to be a ball game next week. People, make sure you tune in to Bright House Game of the Week because we've got two of the best teams in the city going to go at each other, and we've got two head coaches that can flat out coach. Jim Maples, Ryan Nixon, these guys can coach. It's exciting to watch their teams play.
3rd and 6, 27 seconds left in the first half. Herrera's been moving his Trojans down the field, and here comes a nice handoff to Peralta out there. Ooh, had he broken one more, he could have picked up at least 15 to 20 more yards, but good enough for the first down. Trojans cannot stop the clock. It'll stop for just a few seconds while they readjust the lines, but once that happens, it's time to roll. Scott Douglas, head coach for the Trojans, midfield. He knows that clock's going to start empty second now. 1st and 10, and it's clicking. 16 seconds, 15 seconds, 14. Herrera in the shot. Throws it across the middle. Oh, what a nice grab out there. They won't be able to stop the clock, I don't think. Anthony Herrera makes a one-handed grab. That might make the highlight films tonight, but unless they can get this ball down and get one shot, they might try to get this ball spiked, and we'll see what happens. 4 seconds. Trojans trailing by a bunch. Let's see if they can do it. Herrera's going to have to call it and spike it. Wish play. Ooh, he's got 1 second. Let's see if they do it. The clock says no seconds, no time, no nothing. Of course, all the Foothill coaches holding up 1 second on their fingers. Let's see what happens. They do give him back 1 second. So, hey, Kern County, you remember 1 second last week, Stockdale and BHS? A lot can happen in 1 second. Trojans have one play. Herrera most likely will go to the shotgun, or are they going for a field goal? Looks like they're going for a field goal. They'll try to get something out of here. just had a block on their PAT, but they couldn't advance the ball after a touchdown. They block it here, they can keep on rolling. Last play of the first half. Jose Rezga trying to knock this through. He's a left-footed kicker. It's up. Does it get by? It is up, and it is... Oh, it hits the crossbar and bounces back. But we've got laundry on the field. It looks like the kicker got ran into, and if that's the case, they might get another chance.
Yeah, they'll get another shot at it here. It's defense. The half cannot end on a defensive penalty.
Here's our Volvo replay.
So they'll go back. It looks like West High's in there. Oh, they just miss, and then they run into the kicker, and the ball runs into the crossbar.
As we see the lights in the background of Kern County and Bakersfield, that bright yellow goalpost just stands out when that football bounces off there. You see it. Well, here's another shot at it. Jose Rezga gets another shot. It's up. Here comes the Vikings, and they do. They block it. So, in essence, bad luck for the Trojans. Brian Adams down on the field, and the Vikings pick it up. Let's see if Sean Herbst can run it back. He cannot. He takes it out, and that takes us out. The end of the first half with the Vikings dominating this first half. West High 34, the home field team of the Trojans at 6. You're watching Bright House Network's high school football game of the week. We've got some great sponsors, and when we come back from our break, we're going to tell you about them. But Volvo Rents is our replay company this season, and they show us the block kick by the Vikings. It's been a very strong, comprehensive game from the Vikings. We'll be back with some halftime thoughts.
7 years, 100,000 mile guarantee. This is good.
We've tackled all the problems of buying a used car at Barber Honda, making it easier for you to buy the car you're looking for.
Here, so we're looking at...
At Barber Honda Used Cars, you'll get the lowest prices, best selection, and friendliest staff in Bakersfield. Barber Honda, at the entrance to the Bakersfield Auto Mall.
When you live in a Bright House, you're connected to the premier provider of entertainment services, offering more than 250 channel choices, including 60 premium movie channels. But most importantly, you're connected to us. We are 300 of your family members, friends, and neighbors working every day to earn your business with exceptional customer service and state-of-the-art products. We invest in our employees so they can invest in you. To find out more about Bright House Networks, give us a call. Bright House Networks, never before has so much been so easy.
Honey, are you going to do that yard work today?
I'm looking up all the places I need to go. Next Saturday, I'll go and get the stuff.
Locally owned and operated, Volvo Rents has everything you need for that weekend home improvement project. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will guide you through our vast assortment of tools, supplies, and rental equipment. From concrete or masonry mix, mixers or finishing tools, to lawn equipment and landscaping supplies and more. At Volvo Rents, we deliver more care in every rental.
I got you everything you need at Volvo Rents. Here's some gloves. Bye.
It's halftime. Bright House Network's high school football game of the week, week 2. West High 34, Foothill Trojans 6. We're down on the field with Brian Adams and the head coach from the West High School Vikings. Brian.
Yes, I'm down here with Coach Cornford. Coach Cornford, Foothill came out, stopped you guys a little bit on your offense. What adjustments did you make to get the ball rolling?
Well, we looked at what they were doing, and they're playing Princeton McCarty real hard, and so we've got some other weapons. Namely, A.J. Jefferson's got 2 touchdowns right now. They had one-on-one coverage on that, and that's something that we like to see. And so we started putting the ball in A.J.'s hands, and he's doing a good job with it.
Okay, thank you, Coach Cornford. Back to you, Vance.
Thank you, Brian, and thank you, Coach, for your time as he'll go in and discuss some things with the Vikings. Paul, let's talk about Coach Cornford. He's going to go over and talk to these guys that, hey, had a tough loss last week, but now they're in a situation where, hey, let's put the hammer in, let's put the nails in, let's don't get hurt, let's really work this out. Am I wrong or am I right? What do you think Cornford's thoughts will be?
Well, he's going to go in there right now and tell the guys, good job, good adjustment. Let's keep this thing rolling. We were in the same situation last year with Stockdale High. What we did is we went in and we told our starters, hey, you might only get 2 series in the second half. You better make those 2 series count. You may not be playing the fourth quarter. You're going to come out and you're going to execute the best you can. I don't care about the score. The score is 0-0. So they're going to come out here and play it like it's 0-0. Watch West High, keep their starters in, maybe give them 2, maybe 3 series. And if they score on those series, they're going to go ahead and pull them out and save them.
That's Paul Press. Thank you, Brian, for your time down on the field. We'll get back to you at the beginning of the third quarter. And as always, Kern County, one of the favorite parts of our high school football games here is a chance to enjoy the band. Phantom of the Opera, the Trojan Marching Band.
Thousands of Kern County residents are realizing just what satellite is really worth. With Bright House Networks, you get more. Local channels and local programming, movies and favorites on demand, high-speed internet, and the DVR, all without a long-term contract. Try that with satellite. Join over 4,500 of your neighbors and dump the dish for Bright House Networks. Call 323-4892 to make the smart move today.
7 years, 100,000 mile guarantee. This is good.
We've tackled all the problems of buying a used car at Barber Honda. Making it easier for you to buy the car you're looking for.
Here, so we're looking at.
At Barber Honda Used Cars, you'll get the lowest prices, best selection, and friendliest staff in Bakersfield. Barber Honda at the entrance to the Bakersfield Auto Mall.
Coach Douglas, that first half's a little bumpy, but what did you talk about in halftime, and what are you going to try to do in the second half?
So, same as usual, you turn the ball over, it's going to be a problem. When you've got the speed that West High's got, they really make you pay. So we got to contain them when they're on offense, and we got to hold on to the ball.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck the second half. Back to you.
Thanks, Brian. That's about as a class act of a coach as you'll find on the planet Earth. I've known Coach Douglas a couple decades now. He's a mentor of mine, a good friend of mine, friend of the family, personal friend of the family, and just somebody that I've looked up to, someone I've gone to for insight and advice in my athletic career and my coaching career. So Scott Douglas, super guy. We're back. That was Brian Adams down there in the field. I'm up here with Paul Press. Paul Press is an assistant coach and director of football operations for the Bakersfield Blitz. And now we're fortunate enough to have him with us this year at Bright House Networks. Paul, let's talk about that first half and your thoughts going into this from a coach's perspective, both sides of the ball. First, West High, Coach Cornford.
Well, we talked about it going in at halftime. Coach Cornford's going to come out with the starters, and he's telling them, look, there's a few plays I want to look at. They're probably not going to show too much because they're starting to think a little bit about next week. You're not really thinking too much about next week because there's still a lot of football left. 24 minutes is still a lot of time in high school football. But you're telling your starters, hey, you get 2 series, make the best happen, and then
for Coach Douglas,
we'll see how. Coach Douglas, you know what? He probably told him something that I couldn't. He's been coaching a lot longer than I have. But you know what? He did a classy job there, and he told his guys, look, forget about the score. Right now it's a 0-0 ball game. Come out and show me, your school, your friends, the community, what you're made of. You know what? And these kids will answer that call. Foothill kids always answer that call. If you challenge them, they will come out and they will play hard. Do not look at the scoreboard, guys. Do not look up. Foothill Trojans, you keep your focus on that field and you play hard.
And he did bring up the salient point of, hey, too many turnovers are going to hurt any team anywhere at any level. Let's see if they make the corrections. Here's the kickoff to begin the second half. The ball's taken by the Trojans and looks to get outside. He gets a little running room out there. It's Jose Marmoleo. Jose Marmoleo's done a fine job tonight returning kicks, and I bet you his average is a good 12, 15, 18 yards for this Trojan team, and good field position is something that they could use. 1st and 10 Trojan football. This is week 2, game 2 of the 2005 Bright House Network's exclusive coverage of the high school game of the week. Hey, don't forget, you can go to the Bright House website, mybrighthouse.com, click on where, it'll say Kern County, you click on Bakersfield, and you can get on the high school football game of the week. We'll talk about the player of the game. You can also read about Mason Marent's Inside Motorsports Live with my buddies Steve Hughes and Corey Costello. 1st and 10, Trojan ball. Get involved, Kern County. There's the pitch. Fumble. Tough break for the Trojans. 1st and 10 to start off the first play of the series, but now it looks to somehow have turned into a break, if you can call it a break, to have the ball go backwards 6 yards, but it did get picked up by Peralta, and Coach Douglas can't be pleased with that beginning.
Yeah, here we go. Exactly what Foothill doesn't want. He turns around, pitches him. Eyes are upfield before he gets the ball, and here we go. We've got to pile up. Good sense here to get the ball up and try to get what you can out of it. But then again, when you got bodies flying around like that and your quarterback's legs are on the ground, that's a scary thing.
2nd and 17. It was indeed a 7-yard loss for the Trojans. The clock is running, and here's a nice play for the Trojans out here. It's connected out there to Donnie Evans. A beautiful pass out there by Anthony Herrera. 1st down, Trojans. Well-designed play. Perfect little toss. Nice touch to it, and 1st down, Trojans.
Yeah, little tight end pop pass out there to their tight end. Big tight end out there, runs a seam route, comes on down, and big 1st down. What do we got here? 1st down, Foothill, big play.
We hear from Brian down on the field that A.J. Jefferson, the superstar wide receiver cornerback for the Vikings, a little bruised up on that second play there. 1st and 10 Trojans at the 47-yard line. The pitch goes out to Peralta. Peralta's been a busy guy tonight. He makes a cut up field, a nice open field tackle out there. I think it was Brandon Smith that made that play. It was Brandon Smith. Peralta looked like he was going to get free, but no, Brandon Smith caught him. Hey, Kern County, we want to make sure everybody knows about our Barber Honda player of the game as we get a nice shot of the Trojan cheerleaders. But let's not forget, we're going to give out an award, the player of the game. Last week's player of the game, Tyler Kay from BHS, the quarterback that has got a ton of poise. 2nd and 8, Trojan ball. Handoff. Goes out to number 30, Jeremy Hernandez. Hernandez still on his feet. Let's see, maybe a couple of yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 5 maybe. Tonight, Barber Honda play of the game. We've got a nice jacket to give this recipient and a plaque. And hey, Coach, here's our first Volvo Rinse replay of the second half here, and up the middle.
Yeah, we see Foothill here coming off guard. Little misdirection a little bit there, coming across with split backs. Big push by their lineman there. Get it up there. Here we go. West High making personnel changes.
3rd and 5,
putting in a different package.
3rd and 5. Oh, wow. He just throws it a little behind him. Donnie Evans couldn't make the grab, and had he made the grab, it would have been a 1st down. I'll go on record as saying he had the yardage, but the ball thrown just a tad behind him, and I know Anthony Herrera would like to have that back again. He looked like he had enough time. He just threw it just a hair behind him, and as we see Coach Cornford in that previous shot standing right at the 4th down marker, and he knows Trojans are going to have to put it up. Deep for the Vikings is Princeton McCarty, and going back with him is Brandon Smith. Just take your pick, Paul. Take your pick.
Yeah, pick your poison here, Foothill. Oh, and he barely gets it away.
And it's going to be taken by Brandon Smith. He's got it at the 24-yard line, looking for some blocking. Can he get outside? He's wrapped up there at about the 35-yard line, so a 10-yard gain, a 10-yard return. So if you're a coach out there that's watching this on Friday night or our replay on Saturday morning, and you're going to be playing against West High School, you're getting a chance to see all their speed tonight. Everybody's touched the ball here that's got speed.
Yeah, what do? Do you put people in the box to stop the running backs, or do you play some zone and stop their passing? What do you do? And that's going to be the big question facing everybody that faces the West High Vikings this year.
1st and 10 Viking ball. They're up 34-6. Here's their first possession of the second half. Ball goes to McCarty. McCarty's good for a couple of yards up there, and looks like some late laundry. And I mean late, meaning the play was done and laundry came up. Brian Adams is so far alone by himself down there in his solitude and his solace. Brian, what's on your mind down there in no man's land?
Well, I'm actually with an action might be coming real soon to get this 15-yard penalty. But Jefferson is back in the game. He ran off on the sideline, and it looks like he's going to be back in the game. But this situation, you start getting these situations, Paul, as you know as a coach, when you're up 34-6 and bigger, when do you start pulling out your guys so you don't risk injury? Back to you, Vance.
Great point, Brian, and that's what we were talking about earlier. I'm sure Coach Cornford's telling these guys, hey, you get 1 series, maybe 2 series.
1st and 10, right in the middle of the football field. West High School has the ball. McCarty looking for a hole. He brings the ball up to about the 44-yard line of Foothill. For those of you that are watching this evening on our Friday night telecast, we certainly hope you've enjoyed our coverage so far. Last week we had a humdinger.
Wow.
Big football game, Stockdale at BHS. And next week we're going to have Centennial at East. We have early word so far that Liberty's taking care of East. The score we got at halftime was 21-0, Liberty over Centennial. We'll see what develops there. 2nd and 5, Viking football. The clock's just been continuing to tick here as West High up by 28 points. Davison's had an excellent football game at QB for the Vikings. This ball goes to Cortez Donald. Donald close to a first down. They're grinding it out. Hey, Paul, 2 weeks from tonight, we have Liberty at North. If it holds true, Liberty handling Centennial so far tonight, 21-0. We heard it could have been 28-0. They're going to be, in 2 weeks from now, they'll be even more of a locomotive heading up to North High School up by the airport. That ought to be a great football game.
Yeah, it'll be a good game. Coach Snow, North High Stars, they can coach, but I'm telling you, Liberty just looks good this year, really good. This is interesting. West High, this last play, they came out in doubles, the same play they ran earlier, but then they ran the ball earlier in the game for a big play. They threw it.
Davis has got 2 backs behind him, and he hands the ball off to McCarty. McCarty trying to put a move. He's still going backwards. This running back likes to go backwards to go forward, but this time it's not happening. And the Trojans pick up a little help from the offensive line of West High School, and it appeared that he was so close to picking up that first down. The hole gets clogged up, and from there, the Trojans have a very, very big stop. Here's our Volvo Rents replay, Paul, and you can see that he's so close to getting a first down, but no dice.
Yeah, he goes to hit the hole there, and the hole's plugged up.
Great play out there.
Then he makes a decision to go out wide here and try to make something happen. In that situation, this is the one thing I can say about Princeton McCarty is his decision sometimes to try to make something happen is not going to happen at the next level. Everybody's fast at the next level.
They have so much confidence in their speed that they just feel that they can pull it out. Matthew Peralta is deep for the Trojans. He's at his 20-yard line. There's the snap. It's a low snap, and it's a low kick, and if the Trojans can get a break here, they'll take it. It was down to the 20-yard line. It seemed like a pretty good move to me to have that Viking down there. That was Levon Caraway. He said, you know what, this ball's spinning such a funky way it could bounce back. Let's just down it here. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. For all of you football fans out there that are getting ready for a big, big weekend, we've got some big college games taking place, some big pro games taking place, but that all starts on Friday night, well, Thursday night with Frosh-Off games, and then it carries over into the United States phenomena, Friday night football, high school football. This is exciting stuff. Paul, Trojans didn't get scored on. They're looking to come back here and make a move in the second half.
Yeah, that's a good defensive stance, and that's what you got to take. Every positive right now, you've got to coach those positives up, and I'm sure the Trojan coaches are going to talk about that.
Handoff goes out to the right side out there, and could this be our first non-numbered uniform? It's number 3, but didn't you tell me that there was a number 3, Paul? Paul Press, always working hard for you, Kern County.
Yeah, it wasn't on a roster, but I was talking to the coaches before a game. That's a young man, a sophomore, Eric Jones, 5'9", 180 pounds. he carried the ball pretty well for him last week. They pulled him up, and they had to use him. Their low numbers, Foothill only shooting 27 on varsity tonight.
So young Eric Jones gets him up to a 2nd and 1. There's young Eric Jones again. This young sophomore breaks through the middle, and Coach Scott Douglas found something he likes here with this young kid.
He looks like a real good back. I like the way he carries his shoulders. If you look at him, his shoulder pads are pretty low. So nice running by the sophomore there, keeping his pad levels nice and low, his knees high, good vision. Looks like he's a little shifty once he gets in the hole.
5.5 left in the third quarter. Trojans moving down the field. Great play selection so far, and his young sophomore Eric Jones moving the ball on the floor. 1st and 10 Trojans. Herrera drops back. He's in all kinds of trouble. Drop for a loss. Let's go down to the field. Brian Adams with one of our all-time favorite coaches, Ned Permenter. Brian.
And I'm here live with Netty boy Ned Permenter. You got a big night tomorrow night. Could you please tell the fans what's going on?
Well, I've been honored to be recipient of the Hometown Hero Award, which I'm really humble and thankful for and grateful for. And it should be a very nice occasion to raise money for the Police Activity League, which is a very vital part of Bakersfield, a real great organization.
Back to you, Vance, but I have Coach Permenter with us, and we'll come back to him in the next break.
Don't let him leave. Don't let him leave. Don't let him leave, Brian. I want you to ask him a question here. It's 2nd and 15. Herrera out to the right side, has Peralta. A nice play. Coach Permenter's got to be pleased with this. Wow, Peralta out to the 47-yard line. Brian Adams, I want you to ask Coach Permenter if he's prepared to deliver an oratory speech with the likes of Chuck Chamberlain in the crowd and all of some of his longtime coaching friends.
Vance Palm is talking. Are you prepared to make an oratory extravaganza with all your friends, Chuck Chamberlain and company, in the stands?
Are they in the stands tonight?
No, tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it'll be a good occasion. It'll be a lot of fun.
Okay, back to the action. I got one more question for Coach after the next play.
1st and 10 after that excellent play from the Trojans, and here comes Peralta again. Peralta gets up to the 40-yard line, about a 7-yard gain. Let's go back to Brian and Coach Permenter. Brian.
Okay, this is the last question for Coach. Coach, you've been patrolling these sidelines for some time, and you've been in the stands. How many games have you seen of the Foothill Trojans in a row?
I've never missed one since the school opened. 40 years I coached, I obviously went to all of them, and in the 4 years since I've been retired, I've seen everyone.
Tell him he's our hero.
Add them all up. I don't know what it is. Probably getting close to 500 or something. I don't know.
Well, you know I can't add, even though I got that UCLA degree. But anyway, thanks a lot, Coach, for coming down and back to the game.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh. Ho! A botched snap out there, and Herrera's in all kinds of trouble. We certainly want to thank Coach Ned Permenter. He's pretty much a staple of Foothill football, as Brian brought to our attention with his help. He hasn't missed a game since the inception of the team and the school. That's pretty serious. Coach Permenter, congratulations. You are a hometown hero, and no ceremony needs to confirm that. You're a hometown hero, Ned Permenter. As you know, I went to Arvin High School, and Coach Chamberlain was the head football coach when I was there, and certainly one of Coach Chamberlain's good friends and someone he looks up to is Ned Permenter. 3rd and 8. Trojans need to make a big conversion here. Herrera takes the handoff, drops back. These big West High School linemen are just all over him. He just really has no time, Paul.
No, every time Foothill either goes in a double or a slot position and they try to go 2 or 3 vertical, he just doesn't have time. They need to run somebody in underneath route or a little bubble screen or some type of screen, and they can handle that.
Paul, you've done the homework. Tell me about Chris Bandy, this coach at West High School.
Chris Bandy, the offensive coordinator for West High.
And D-line.
D-line, O-line, offensive coordinator. He was their JV head coach last year. Oh, here we go.
Preston McCarty bobbles it, but again, this natural talent of these kids always seems to get them out of trouble. Keep talking about Coach Bandy, because these guys are doing great tonight.
Yeah, Coach Bandy, he's doing a good job. This is his first year calling the West High offense on the varsity level. He was the JV coach last year. Last year, Coach Lewis called their offense. Coach Lewis is back with them this year on a part-time basis, more just working with the quarterback. He took some time off to finish some schooling and spend time with his family. Coach Bandy, on the other hand, pedigree. father played for the Redskins in the NFL and coached at Taft College.
Wow.
This guy, I'm glad to see it. As you everybody knows, I graduated from West High, so I've got a big smile on my face. I'm looking through. West High's playing well and got excellent coaches over there.
2 minutes left in this third quarter. West High School leads 34-6. Here comes McCarty. McCarty looking for a room. He's got some serious speed, some nice moves, and it looks like it's a 10-yard gain. Let's talk about some more West High Vikings. Jim Maples, Randy Maples. A lot of great West High Vikings. Hey, here's one Viking that I want to talk about. Rich Hughes, a graduate of West High School. Well, he didn't graduate, went to West High School, and now he's the head basketball coach for men's basketball at Bakersfield College. And hey, Coach Hughes, looking forward to those Renegade Hoopsters doing real well this year. And hats off to Coach Judy and the Renegade football squad. Got a strong season ahead of them as well. 1:48 left in this third quarter. West High School, there's a couple receivers split out here, and that's always scary for the defense. Looks like Davison's going to keep it himself, and this big quarterback, Corey Davison, had an excellent first half, and now I think he's even willing to kind of just keep this thing on the ground. Let's not get hurt. Let's make sure this thing happens.
Yeah, this first group here, they've got about 1:30 left. It'll probably finish out this drive. If they finish it out and they get a score here, you know, they're going to say something. I have to mention these guys here for West High. You know, Gary Sumlin, the big guy, the left tackle.
Let's give these numbers so they got all these.
There we go. Number 78, number 74, Corey, help me out. Schessler, okay. The right guard, number 56, Josh Turner. Number 66, the right tackle. I'll let you pronounce that one for me since you're.
Who's this? Avelino Larios?
Yes.
Wow.
Doing a great job.
These 6'3", 245 Larios.
Yeah. You know, they've been talking, everybody, coaches I've been talking to always say, West High has these skill guys. West High has these skills guys. But they didn't say much about the line. You know what? I've been impressed with West High's line. We watched them in their scrimmage against Tehachapi. After watching them tonight, you know, and Tehachapi's got some big kids, and we watched West High scrimmage them. This West High line, they're legit. You know, everybody was questioning West High's line preseason. They're legit. They're doing a great job.
Ayala and Caraway split left. Davison hands the ball off to McCarty. McCarty makes one big move, two big moves. Wow, first down West High. I like watching this kid run. Princeton McCarty, and he's got one of the hippest names in town, Princeton McCarty, 5'9", 170-pounder. He's a senior. We'll be interested to see the decision he makes. There's 3 schools looking at him now. Could be a lot more at the end of this season.
Right. From what I understand, Fresno State, Reno, Nevada, and Idaho are all looking at Princeton, as well as also Mackey. My guy on defense, 45. I love Mackey on defense, even though West High's offense is out there. But these two guys are getting looks.
Well, it was potentially the last play of the quarter, but we had a little bit of a miscue on the start from the West High line, so it looks like we'll actually have one more play to end the third quarter. The score is 34-6. West High leads the Foothill Trojans. This is Vance Palm speaking alongside Paul Press, and down on the field is Brian Adams, and I hear that Brian Adams has a special locale for us when we can return to him coming back from the fourth quarter. That's the end of the third quarter. When we return, it'll be the last quarter for the Trojans to try to make something happen. You're watching Bright House Network's High School Football Game of the Week exclusive coverage here. When we come back, fourth quarter action at Foothill High School.
Bright House Networks presents Mesa Marin Raceways. Inside Motorsports. Every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on Bright House Networks, Channel 21. With an encore presentation Fridays at 10 p.m. and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Inside Motorsports.
Honey, are you going to do that yard work today?
I'm looking up all the places I need to go. Next Saturday, I'll go and get the stuff.
Locally owned and operated, Volvo Rents has everything you need for that weekend home improvement project. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will guide you through our vast assortment of tools, supplies, and rental equipment. From concrete or masonry mix, mixers or finishing tools, to lawn equipment and landscaping supplies and more. At Volvo Rents, we deliver more care in every rental.
I got you everything you need at Volvo Rents. Here's some gloves. Bye.
Welcome back, Kern County. 1st and 15 for the Vikings. Princeton McCarty looking to make a big game breaker, and there it is. Oh, another 25-yard run, and he's up to about the 25 of Foothill High. So we come back with a bang. We've got player down on the field, and that looks as if it's going to be number 21 for the Trojans. That's Derek Smith. Here's our Volvo Rents replay.
Yeah, here we go. We're watching this replay here. And once again, the great running back makes something happen in open field. And then once again, they finally get him down there. But this is just a big pop coming through the line. The offensive line opening a hole. Him doing his job, running through the hole. And then once he gets in that open field, he makes one extra move and picks up an extra 15 yards.
After this play, we're going to go over to Brian Adams. He's got a special guest, and he's doing something, Brian. 11:43 left in the ball game. Vikings up big, looking to go up even bigger. Starting quarterback Corey Davison's still in there, and he's still got his big guys in there too. But wow, Princeton McCarty thrown for a loss by the big fella. Big play out there. Let's go over to Brian Adams. Brian, you're way across the field, sitting over there with an old Arvin buddy of mine. What's happening?
Oh, I'm over here with Steve Metler, one of your old Arvin Cat running buddies, and we're here with the West High Viking Regiment Band. What's going on with this band? It's also an award-winning band, Steve.
Yeah, that's right. We're here, happy to be here for our first pep band game of the year against Foothill. We've got about 60 kids here in the pep band. Luckily, the school provides a bus for us to get us out to every pep band game. It's all about having fun for us. Absolutely.
Well, we're going to have some fun. Back to you. Come back to us and again, and I'm going to be playing with the West High Viking Regiment Band.
Well, thank you, Brian. Obviously, Steve Metler has a heart for allowing big. Oh, look at this play right here. This is A.J. Jefferson, this talented receiver. He's still on his feet. Brian, are you ready over there?
Vance, I am ready. When the band starts playing, I'm playing with them.
Oh.
So when they go, I'm going.
Steve Metler, very talented musician, saxophone player, band director at West High School. I got Steve a gig out in cruise ships, and he's never been the same, man. Carnival Cruise Lines asked me for a couple of musician friends of mine if they could do the gig, and I sent Steve out there, and he ended up being a band leader. Hey, look at this, Kern County Barber Honda player of the game. We're going to be talking to him, and we'll be getting some Barber Honda feedback. We've also got Volvo Wrench. Thanks for these big booms. They put our cameraman up there. Crab Radio and 98.5 Fox. Looks like we got a player down on the field. Let's go to the band with Steve Metler and Brian Adams. Take it away, Doc. Come on, Brian, get it on. I can't do it. Brian, we're watching you, and you're not doing anything. You're not doing.
I'm waiting for him to go.
You're not doing anything. Oh my gosh. Hey, Kern County, that's Brian over there. There's Steve Metler, the band director. Come on, Brian. Well, if it's any indication of the huge smile and the guffaws and the laughing coming from Steve Metler, well, Paul, you're our Volvo Rinse replay. You tell us how you think Big Brian Adams is doing over there.
Hey, I think he was very strong with his right hand there. Looked like his right hand was keeping it beat. The left hand was a little shaky, but you know what? I think he's ready to go in the lineup. I was impressed with Brian Adams. Brian, right hand, you look good in rhythm there. Left hand was a little shaky, Brian, but hey, I think you're ready to go in the lineup. Suit you up, and you'll be ready to march with them next week.
I cannot play a lick of instruments. Ask my mom. She bought a trumpet, and she might have just gave it back as collecting cobwebs.
Brian was playing in the key of L. 3rd and 7. 10:21 left in this ball game. Vikings would like to get something happening here. Coach Cornford still got his main men in there, and talk about the main men. A.J. Jefferson in motion. Corey Davison drops back. He picks it off to Princeton McCarty. Princeton McCarty wrapped up. We've got laundry on the field. There's a flag down, so it was 3rd and 7. If this is a holding call, he didn't get the first down, Paul, so they might decline it and make it a 4th down. We'll see. Or they might have him go back, huh?
That flag came awfully early. I don't think it'll be a holding call. I don't think the play had developed. Oh, they're waving it off now.
Okay, inadvertent flag, waved it off. That'll bring up a 4th and, well, 4th and about 5, and I have a feeling Coach Cornford's going to try out his field goal team here.
Yeah, this is a situation. This is smart on his part right here. I really like this. This shows a class act, too, on Coach Cornford. They're going to work on something here on the place kicking. Oh, place kicker, he wasn't quite ready.
Well, they better work a little bit better on it. Place kicker on the wrong side of the tee. We've got left hand. Okay, right-handed, right-footed kicker here. And this is number 10, Jose Ventura. He's done a fine job this evening. Ventura, it's up, and it is no good. So looked like they were rushed. Looked like it didn't come out as organized as they would like to, Paul, and they paid the price.
Yeah, it looked like their holder, number 2, I won't say his name, but it looked like he was over on the backside of the bench there and wasn't paying attention, got out there a little late. And you know what? The Buffalo Bills hate these 2 words. Wide left.
Wow. Well, the holder was Sean Herbst. I'm the announcer. I've got to say his name. He didn't get out there in time, and when you're up 34-6, the sting of it doesn't really hurt as bad. 1st and 10, Trojans will take over on their own 20-yard line, and with 9.5 minutes left, if you're Coach Douglas, your head coach of the Trojans, hey, let's make something happen here. Let's get something constructive out of this. Let's build, let's build, let's build.
Yeah, you definitely want to finish this night on a positive note.
The handoff goes to the sophomore that's been pulled up from the JV squad there. That's Eric Jones. And, Paul, we see this a lot. A couple years ago, Brian and I were covering the BHS Drillers in a game, and they had young Scritchfield got pulled up to play QB for the Drillers and beat the Liberty the Liberty squad out there as a kid that had just been pulled up the night before. So it does happen. And this young running back from Foothill getting some primetime PT.
I like this. Look at this replay here. Look at that. You know what? I say look at that. I'm sorry. Let me explain that. When I say look at that, his shoulder pads are low. His knees are high. His eyes are open. He's got good vision. He's shifty. This is a good young back. People watch this young man throughout the years.
2nd and 9 for the Trojans. The ball up the middle. No, he's tripped up out there by number 21, Ryan Matthews, one of the team captains. Let me reiterate to the team captains, give you their names again for the Vikings. It's number 1, Brandon Smith, number 21, Ryan Matthews, number 45, Daron McMackey, and number 78, Gary Sumlin. And for the Trojans, the captains are Donnie Evans, number 11, Raul Rodriguez, number 24, Jeremy Hernandez, number 30. These captains have their teams ready to go tonight, and that's an important part of the captain selection. The team votes on who they feel will be the leaders of the squad, and just want to give you their names. We have a timeout on the field. Camera 1. Where is Carlos? Let's give you an introduction of all of our Bright House Network crew tonight. These guys, there's Carlos. Que onda, paisa? Buenas noches. Perfect job. Thank you, Carlos. Hey, there's John on camera 2. Hi, John. He's down there pointing up to us. Hey, John. Camera 1. Hey, Kevin, my man over here on one of our Volvo Rinse Boom. He's up there probably about 45 feet, 50 feet, and there's Big Phil out there. Phil a little lower than he was last week. At BHS, he's about 100 feet up. Hey, here's Paul Press. 3rd and 10, Trojans do not want to have more trouble in the backfield. No turnovers right here. It's an important play. Let's get this ball going forward. 8.5 minutes left in this ball game. Guerrero drops back, looking for some time. He has a little bit. He launches it across the middle, and it's underthrown, intended out there for Jose Marmolejo. That'll bring up 4th and long, and they're going to have to punch it, Paul.
Yeah, I've got some concerns. I'm up here holding my breath, and I'm not a West High coach. I am a West High alumnus, and I am proud to say that now. Since Rich Cornford's been there, stepped up, has done a great job. But my man, Daron Mackey, 45, is still on the field, and I'm going, holy smokes, holy smokes.
Got a lot of talented kids out there risking injury. Ball goes up, taken right at midfield, and that is A.J. Jefferson. A.J. Jefferson couldn't hang on to it. I'll tell you exactly what went through his mind. He was taken off before that ball was in his hands. I think he saw pay dirt, but
he may have known that his time is limited on the field, so he was trying to push it here. He was probably thinking, they probably told him, hey, this is your last chance on the field. You're not going to get to play anymore. So he's getting ready here to make something happen.
Oh,
he's
AJ
this is my last chance.
You're right.
And he's lucky they blew this whistle dead here, because those Foothill Trojans
They were down there fighting for that ball.
He was thinking, man, I've got a big hole and I'm out of here, but the ball slipped out of his hand. There's Coach Lewis taking a good look at it. 1st and 10. New quarterback for the Vikings, Sean Herbst. Sean Herbst on his first carry of the ball game as a QB gets about 17 yards. So a nice run out there. We've got an injured Viking right down in front of us. And that's the big fella. I think that's Corey Schussler right there. And, that is not ever a good sight to see. But when you're a big, important part of this line, and here's the big fella right here.
Well, we couldn't quite see where he went down, but it didn't look like somebody. It looked like somebody rolled up on the back of him here. Couldn't quite tell from that angle, but they're out looking at him right now. We'll get a chance to see what happens, and this is what we were talking about earlier. You know, you've got the game pretty much in hand, 34-6, and this is the last thing. Well, this is a good sign here. Big number 74 on his feet, shaking it off, and he'll be ready to go for next week.
I guess there's a fine line. You want to get your players the time. You want to work through some things. Hey, the Vikings get up to such a big lead, they really might not be able to stretch out their playbook as much as they want to, get to see the things they need to see for a game like next week. I don't know who they have next week, but as each week unfolds, one of the coaches over here is telling me Paso Robles. Well, goodness, they want to be ready.
Yeah. Yes, Paso Robles, good program. I'm sorry about that.
1st and 10. They're back to Corey Davidson. So Herbst came in for one play, ran for 17 yards, and now the handoff goes to Ryan Matthews. Ryan Matthews out there pounding out more yards. You know, it doesn't really matter who they hand the ball off to. Even if it's their backup quarterback, Sean Herbst is getting 17 yards. Wow. West High School.
Well, we talked about this when we watched them scrimmage, and here comes number 2 back in, Sean Herbst, the quarterback. He's coming back in. Maybe they took him out for one play. It looked like, you know what? He didn't have the play band on. He didn't have his wristband on. He had to go out one play and get the wristband on.
Hey, for the one play he called himself running it. I don't have my play band on. I'm going to call me. 2nd and 7 for the Vikings. 7.5 minutes left. It's Herbst again. Herbst tries to cut up field. Boy, this kid's got some quick feet. He gets hauled down at about the line of scrimmage, but Coach Cornford now letting this clock run down. I want to remind everybody, next week, Bright House Networks will be at East High School. Our first chance to see Coach Jim Maples and his Blades and see where they're at mentally and physically after after their Valley Championship run last year. And always nice to be up on the east side. Coach Maples will host Coach Mixon and the Centennial Golden Hawks. Last year, was it last year they lost their first game in 462,000 league games? Was that it?
Yeah, and this West High Vikings are the ones that knocked them off. We were hoping, when I was at Stockdale last year, I coached at Stockdale last year, and we were hoping Centennial would beat West High so we could be the first team to beat them in league play.
Wow.
And West High beat them to it.
And did you beat them next week? Stockdale beat them the next week? Centennial?
Yeah.
Wow, 2 big losses there. Yeah. I think I was either in Jamaica or Grenada or St. Vincent. I was somewhere a long ways away from high school football. Try to catch up on when I got home, but must have been an exciting year last year. You know, it's going to be kind of weird for me to call a Centennial game without mentioning the name Houston or Morrell, these names that I got so used to calling for all these years. 4th and 6, Vikings, no need to punt it, no need to try a long field goal. Let's just try to get a first down. Sean Herbst, QB, he drops back. His first pass is QB. He throws it out, and it could be caught. Ooh, just overthrew Luis Teo, 5'9", 160-pound junior. So we're getting to see some new names out there, some new numbers. Coach Cornford working in the system now.
Yeah, well, these guys that we're seeing right now, this will be West High's starting lineup, next year. And this throw here, Herbst winds up and just launches a bomb here. He wound up like he was going to throw that ball 60 yards downfield. And you know what? He's probably used to throwing to their starting receivers. Probably doesn't get a whole lot of chances to throw to this receiver, number 11, during practice. So that was more of a timing on that deep out there. A lot of white jerseys on the field. Clean white jerseys.
5:44 left in this ball game. It's been a good ball game. The score might not indicate that, but there's been a lot of great things that happen on both sides of the ball. I think when you see a a 34-6 score, a lot of times you think it might not be as an entertaining game as it has been, and it's been a good game. Brian Adams, I see you down there midfield, pensive, contemplative. What are your thoughts, my man?
Well, one of the things, Vance, that you got to give Foothill Trojans credit for is they stuck it out and they played tough, like Paul said. They showed their heart. And West High Stars were winning for a while. Even though they didn't go to the air, the defense still held up and kept it a close second half.
That's Brian Adams. I'll go back to him in just a moment. I want his thoughts on Centennial East next week. Pass play by the Trojans. Oh, another tough luck pass there. A very hard bullet of a throw from Herrera off Donnie Evans. Hey, Brian, let me get your thoughts on next week. We'll be over at East High School. Jim Maples and his Blades, Coach Nixon and his Centennial Golden Hawks. Your thoughts on next week's game, week 3?
Well, we talked about the speed of West High. East High is another team with a lot of speed, but a lot of speed is on defense. They bring back a lot of returning players, and Centennial's going to have to get something working. We don't know what the score is. We know they're down 21-0 at the half prior to this, so they got a lot of work to do to get ready for East High, the returning section champions.
Thank you, Brian. 3rd and 8. Exactly 5 minutes left in the ball game. Herrera from the shotgun throws out to his favorite target out there, Peralta. Matthew Peralta, almost broke free for a touchdown, but he gets lassoed around the neck out there by the Viking defenders. Hey, first down, Trojans.
Yeah, that was number 7 out there for West High. Sean Morris making behind the shoulder pad there, grabs and pulls him back there. I like this little play that Foothill runs. We call it a bubble screen, where the number 2 receiver will run a half bubble. The number 1 receiver will crack down, and he has to read his block there. It's a nice play for Foothill. They have the talent to do that. Their quarterback, he's got a quick release, so he gets it out there in time.
And they've run it well tonight. 1st and 10, Trojans. Ball's handed up there to Jeremy Hernandez. Jeremy Hernandez wrapped up for a loss at about 1 yard. But I will tell you this. We have a big decision we have to make here. At the end of the game, we give away the player of the game. Brian will be down on the field presenting that award for the Barber Honda Player of the Game. We'll start discussing that in about a minute, maybe about a minute and a half. We get down to the 2.5 minute mark here. We'll start seeing where we stand on the Barber Honda Player of the Game. Will it be an offensive player? Will it be a defensive player? Will it be a quarterback? Will it be a linebacker? Or will it be Coach Ned Permenter? Herrera fakes the toss, hands the ball off to his man Jeremy Hernandez, and Hernandez just could not get out of the open soon enough. And Sean Morris comes in and lays a lick.
Yeah, that Sean Morris is showing us, and he's trying to show the coaches right now, hey, look at me. I want some playing time, coaches. I want some real playing time. So when he's on the field here, hey, he's hustling. Hey, we brought it up earlier. West High's got 60 guys suited up. Foothill over here, 27. You know what? And these 27 guys on this Foothill sideline, they reflect their coaches here. Their coaches, they're not quitting. These coaches are still coaching very down to the last minute. Their cheerleaders are still cheering and dancing. The players are playing hard.
I dig it, Paul. Great point, and I love it. Herrera drops back. He's got the time. Looks like it could be defensive holding. It's not. Oh, he had a man open. It could have been a beautiful play. Jose Riggs out there. Oh, man, that was a nice pass. A 45-yard strike out there by Anthony Herrera. Let's see if we get our Volvo Rinse replay out there. It looks like Chris out there.
Yeah, here we go. Foothill lines it up. They get a little play action, which freezes the corner and gets that free safety. Brandon Smith to step up. He was playing on the other side of the field a little bit. They got a little isolation with the skinny post. Just barely overthrows it. I like this play. West High's playing real aggressive with their free safety, and their linebackers are really flying towards it. Little play action freezes them. And then they come back on the backside with the skinny post and just miss. Nice play calling. Just barely missed on the execution part of it. Man, we can really hear this Foothill band right below us really going. Cheerleaders still going and dancing hard. These fans are still here. They're supporting their Foothill Trojans. This is what high school football is all about. I love this. This is great. You know what? It's 34-6, 2:44 left. No one's leaving. No one's trying to get out of the parking lot. The cheerleaders are enjoying it. The band's playing hard. These young people are having fun here at Foothill. And you know what? Foothill's got a bright future. They've got a good principal, a new AD, a good coaching staff here. They're freshmen. Their JV teams won. Hey, Foothill, you're going in the right direction. Hang in there and keep going the way you're going.
4th and 8. Everybody coming for the Vikings. Herrera. Quarterback sneak around like a kind of a bootleg, and he breaks a broken tackle there, and he probably should have been brought down out there, but he slipped by and picks up a first down. Hey, great call. He hung in there, took a big lick, and got himself a first down. Athletic director for the Trojans that you're speaking of is Kevin Platt, and Kevin Platt's an old volleyball buddy of mine. Look at this. Should have been wrapped up. Didn't get it. Boom. Hey, Kern County, look at this.
Yeah, that was Jason Smith. That's the younger brother of Brandon Smith at ASU. That's his younger brother, plays the starting corner. He's a cover corner, as we say. Not a big tackler, but I tell you what, this kid can cover.
Trojans trying to get in the end zone. Herrera cannot break. Oh, does he break free? Now he's got time, looking for number 10 down the field. He's wide open. Oh, no, it's picked off out there by Luis Teller. Luis looking for some room. He might be able to take this upfield. Uh-oh. Kern County, one more big block. No, he cannot run past the big men from Foothill. Oh, my goodness. Pete Lopez and another big player out there just ran him down. But the West High crowd loving it. Icing on the cake, but wow, some big linemen out there. Number 77, Maurizio Villatoro. Here's our run back up here. Luis Tello breaks out and looks like he's going to make this a TD, but if you watch closely, Kern County, you'll see the big fella. Look at this guy out there running these players down, one of the defensive linemen. And then there's Maurizio Villatoro, 5'10", 250 pounds, never giving up.
No, never giving up. And you know what? Number 72, whoever you are, I'm sorry, your name's not listed in our program, 72. Maybe there was a jersey change, but we don't have you. But young man, props to you, number 72, for running him down. Great job.
1st and 10 Vikings in motion, or is he just trying to get to the right spot? Is Justin Gant for the West High Vikings. Herbst keeps the ball. He's up to the 25-yard line. Herbst trying to cut outside. Can he get outside? Looking for some blocking. Up to the 20-yard line, and he's taken out of bounds. A 33-yard gain, I believe that's the correct math for our man Sean Herbst. He's 5'8", $160, and he's done a fine job coming in here, backing up the future star Corey Davis.
Yeah, he's got some quick feet here, and he makes a nice read here on this dive option. He's supposed to read this dive. He reads the defensive end again. The defensive end pinches down, so he pulls it back out from his fullback and gets around the corner, and it's got some footwork.
Well, we've got a timeout on the field. The coach is calling a timeout here. I think the Foothill coach just says, hey, let's just stop the clock. Let's use our last timeout. Let's see if we can come up with something here. Barber Honda, player of the game. I think this game's in the bag now, 34-6 with 2 minutes left. Let's start discussing players of the game. I'm going to throw out who I think it is. Paul Press will throw out who he thinks it is. Brian Adams will throw out who he thinks it is. And, of course, our director, Bernie Johnson, also lays into it. Corey Davidson's my pick, the quarterback for the Vikings. I know we had a quarterback last week, and I don't want you to think it's an all-quarterback pick. However, he did throw for a couple TDs, ran for a TD. As I talked to Coach Lewis before the game started, he said, hey, he's got great arm strength, but I'm looking for him to grow tonight. That's my pick, Corey Davidson, but it's not the final pick. Paul Press.
Well, I'm going to go with my man, number 45, who was all over the field defensively. Foothill's only scored 6 points. How many tackles did he have? 20? I don't know, 25? This guy was all over the field, and he's a linebacker, which Coach Cornford, played Baylor University. So
you're picking a 45, Deron Mackey. What a player. That kid is a stud, and obviously a lot of fans at home are looking at that as a viable option. Brian Adams, I have no idea where you are. I don't know where you're standing, but your thoughts on Barber Honda, player of the game. Brian Adams has gone incognito on us. Can't find him. He's got no microphone. Our director, Bernie Johnson, with his input. Again, an excellent job, Bernie, directing the game and putting us where we need to be with a $1.50 left. He also likes Deron Mackey, number 45. An excellent choice from our director, Bernie Johnson. $1.25, second and goal from the 6-yard line. Up the gut. A gain of about 2 yards. Brian Adams, your thought on Barber Honda, player of the game.
Well, we all discussed about who the player of the game might be, and it looks like it's going to be Deron Mackey, who just plays a magnificent linebacker position.
Well, Brian, I'm in full agreement with yourself, Bernie, and Paul. Good luck tracking Deron Mackey down after this ball game. I can see you out there now with one of the representatives from Barber Honda, the best dressed man on the football field tonight, this representative from Barber Honda. Let's see if the West High Vikings can punch it in, and we'll start talking about our player of the game. 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. Quarterback Sean Herbst tries to take it in himself. The Trojans say no. We're not giving in. We're not giving up to the last second. No touchdown for you, 51. West High.
There's big number 51. There's no quitting these dogs right here. These dogs are going to continue to fight. The Foothill Trojan dogs here, they're going to go. Look at 51. I tell you what, BC coaches, I'm sure, know about this young man because he's going to be playing. Hopefully he stays here in town and plays for BC next year.
Ivan Quiros.
Yes.
Well, that's it. The West High Vikings are going to let the clock run down. They're not even really going to try to take it to the end zone. Class move, class act. Bright House Network's high school football game of the week. Number 2 game is over. West High Vikings 34, Trojans 6. A nice football game. When we come back, we're going to have our Barber Honda player of the game and a final wrap-up from myself, Paul, and Brian. Back in a moment. West High Vikings dominate week 2.
We're here at the end of the game, and we're on the field with Barber Honda, player of the game presentation. And on to my right is Deshaun Henry from Barber Honda. He's going to make a presentation to our player of the game, which is Deron Mackey, who led the defense tonight and only held the Foothill Trojans to 6 points. Right now we'll make the presentation. Deshaun, please make the presentation.
On behalf of Barber Honda and Bright House Network, we'd like to congratulate you on a great game. Get you a few items here. Good job tonight, and do appreciate your athleticism.
All right, Deron, you to lead that defense. What did you do come up that loss to get your team ready to come out tonight and avoid falling in the trap of losing to Foothill tonight?
We just had to have a good week of practice, and we know that Clover Cecil was a good team, and we had to bounce back.
Well, that was a good job. You played well tonight. Coach Cornford, we've been here many times, you and I, and your team every year just like you just keep getting better and you knock on that door. What do you think is going to take you over that next level?
Well, I think we've started to establish a tradition of hard work. You know, this class learned from the group that was seniors when they were freshmen, and they've learned the effort that it takes to be successful, because success is not for the ordinary teams. You know, you got to be something special.
Well, I really appreciate the chance to watching you guys so many times in the last few years. Really, the speed is what really astounds me. Where do you get these jackrabbits from?
Well, we're real fortunate. The kids work hard on it. You know, with our plyometric programs and our lifting, our fast guys get faster and our medium guys get fast.
Well, you heard it there, folks. Now back to Vance and Paul.
Hey, Brian, thank you very much. Appreciate all your work down there in the field. Thank you to our representative from Barber Honda, Coach Cornford, and, of course, Deron Mackey. Paul Press, first of all, your thoughts on this West High juggernaut of an offense who, if they continue to get some wins under their belt, more confidence, more speed, more strength, as Coach Cornford said, the fast get faster under their program. Your thoughts on West High?
Well, they're going to get better, and by week 4, 5, they're going to know who to go to on what part of the field and which plays really work and what are their bread and butter plays, and they're going to run them more, and they're going to get better at their execution. And watch out. Watch out. Watch out, because they're going to have a real shot at taking the league title this year.
Scott Douglas, Foothill Trojans. The season's early. They got a lot of games left. What can they take away from tonight's game here against the Vikings?
Well, scratch the first half.
Right.
And work on the second half. You know, they may not even watch a whole lot of that first half on film. I personally wouldn't. I'd show them the second half. They did a great job the second half. They hung with the West High Vikings the second half. They showed a lot of heart. They've got some good young running backs here, you know, and they've got a good defensive line. So they've got a lot of positive.
Well, that's the voice of Paul Press. I'm Vance Palm. Beautiful full moon just starting to creep into Kern County. It's almost autumn. Next Friday night, September 23rd, it'll be autumn already, and it'll be Centennial at East High School. What a football game that ought to be. That'll be week 3.
7 years, 100,000 mile guarantee. This is good.
We've tackled all the problems of buying a used car at Barber Honda, making it easier for you to buy the car you're looking for.
Good. So we're looking at.
At Barber Honda Used Cars, you'll get the lowest prices, best selection, and friendliest staff in Bakersfield. Barber Honda at the entrance to the Bakersfield Auto Mall.
Bright House Networks presents Mesa Marin Raceways. Inside Motorsports. Every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on Bright House Networks, Channel 21. With an encore presentation Fridays at 10 p.m. and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Inside Motorsports.
Honey, are you gonna do that yard work today?
I'm looking up all the places I need to go. Next Saturday, I'll go and get the stuff.
Locally owned and operated Volvo Rents has everything you need for that weekend home improvement project. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will guide you through our vast assortment of tools, supplies, and rental equipment. From concrete or masonry mix, mixers or finishing tools, to lawn equipment and landscaping supplies and more. At Volvo Rents, we deliver more care in every rental.
I got you everything you need at Volvo Rents. Here's some gloves.